Black history, you bitch.
You bitches.
Build a wall around that motherfucker.
This gonna be the blackest shit ever.
The blackest.
Start the show off with the nation of domination.
We are the nation.
We are the nation of domination.
Boom.
And the show starts now.
Power.
The show starts fucking now.
Oh my God. Yes.
Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company. I am Wood.
You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold, sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you. Sherry, I done lost my job. I am the petty messiah, and the biggest man, the big man, and the medium-sized man have got a show for y'all.
God
TPM. TPM.
Now can you dig that, sucker?
Yeah.
The boy comes in with an intro and a clean mic.
Off the top rope with more blackness than you've ever seen in your life.
Well, y'all, this is the blackest shit y'all gonna see in the history of the Broken Pencil Booking
Welcome
Company.
to the Black History Month program, courtesy of the Broken Pencil Booking Company. Shouts out to my guy Dave, representing McAuliffe Cigars. He's in the building. What up, Dave?
What happened?
Hey.
We got sponsors.
Up in this bitch.
You dig?
They sponsoring us in the Seagulls parking lot.
We sipping on woke Sprite.
From Seagulls. Courtesy of Seagulls. They did it. Look why they did it.
I need a drink.
Yeah, that's how you start the show. Need a drink. Now, first of all, before we get any further into this situation, what you need to be doing right now is opening an extra browser tab. That means either on your phone, on your computer, on your laptop, wherever you're at. You need to be going to, give them the website.
BrokenpencilBC.com. That's www.brokenpencilbc.com.
And you need to be downloading the Season 1 mixtape from the Broken Pencil Booking Company.
Back up. That's for streaming. If you want to download it,
Aha.
brokenpencilbc.podomatic.com. That's BrokenpencilBC. PODOMATIC.com.
Hosted by the legendary DJ Danger One.
Who is that guy?
He's somewhere on the internet.
He's a pretty good guy.
Hey,
He got good mixes.
Wood likes him. But
Wood does like him.
Wood likes him.
I can dig it. But you need to have that in your rotation. You need to be streaming it. You need to have it downloaded for special occasions. Put it on a flash drive, carry it in your car, put it in your pocket right next to your heart so it keep you warm and safe, because you know you're a little fragile out here in these streets sometimes.
In true Black History Month fashion, there wouldn't be a Black History Month program if there wasn't a first involved with this. And I want to go on record as saying this is the first mixtape by a pro wrestling podcast.
Sound the feasting horn.
And it just boom, boom, boom. And it just happens to be hosted by not one, not two, but three African American males.
This is a story that must be told.
Music by men of a certain age: J. Rhodes, M. Slago, Gerard Jave up in this bitch, and Rakim Al-Jabbar, Dow Jones. These are all my Dallas people that we shout now because we represent this Dallas thing at a very high level.
These are truths.
We also have some classics on here from Action Bronson and Rusty Jukes. Mm-hmm. It's some more stuff. I'm not going to tell you the whole playlist track list.
Method Man is on here. LL Cool J is on here.
Cool J.
Killer Mike is on here.
Man, listen.
Roddy Ricch is on here. Suave Burgundy is on here.
Spitter. Currency.
Wiz Khalifa's on here.
Ty Dolla $ign. So it's
a lot of
it's
people.
literally something for everybody.
You need to be
on this
living
thing.
your life in an upright position.
And if you really like hip hop the way it's supposed to be.
This ain't about what you like. It's about what you need.
It's mixed. It's hip hop the way it's supposed to be. It's a mixtape from a real DJ with real credible guys that represent this culture to the fullest. And we live this thing.
And they're talking about wrestling.
There are clips from season 1.
Yes, there are.
Can't miss clips.
Can't miss.
You need them. It's a mixtape.
If you want to know what's accepted in a professional environment and what's not, the first 5 minutes of the mixtape will tell you what is and what is not accepted.
You need not introduce certain items in a professional environment to your coworkers
or a complete stranger. That said, BrokenpencilBC.com is the website. Go check out the stream. Also available Spotify, Google Play, and also iTunes.
All streaming platforms. Wherever, if you're already subscribed to the show as you should be, you already have this. Just go into your updated content and enjoy.
And if for whatever reason, because Podomatic has been having issues lately, and they've been working with us, so I don't have any ill will towards them because they've been doing.
I almost cut a promo on them. Go ahead.
No, they've been working with us. They've been helping us out a little bit. So I mean, they got some problems they got to work out, but.
Appreciate it.
BrokenpencilBC.podomatic.com. If you want to download it, if you cannot download it, feel free to email us at brokenpencilbc@gmail.com or hit us up on any of the social media platforms. We will be more than happy to send you personally a link to the download mixer. It is free for promotional use only. Tell your friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, bitch.
At Broken Pencil BC on everything.
On everything?
Everything.
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 All right. What don't we have this week? It's been about 3 weeks since we've been on, so we're hitting you with the Tupac Shakur.
Hey, man.
The mixtape is 1. This is going to be episode 2. Oh, we got a question that we need to answer real quick.
Okay.
Shoot.
This is something that's on the we can actually, this will be part of the agenda too. We can go ahead and start off with this, and then we can go back into the actual agenda.
Betcha.
Shouts out to KKDA K104's own Ron Murray.
My guy, what's happening?
My man, my G, my guy.
I know that guy. He's a good guy. Comes from good stock.
He sends us a question,
right,
related to AEW.
He sent me a question too, but I'm gonna save that for later in the show.
All right, so. And I'm just doing this because it's been a while since he sent the question, and we need to respond to it because suckers got to know, suckers needs to know.
Indeed.
If everything goes right for AEW, what do you think they could? What do you think they could be at their best? Possible legit competitor for WWE, and what's the worst? Impact knockoff. That's a pretty loaded question. We don't know the answer to that question.
We can all take educated guesses about what we think it could be.
With the supposed and reported money that's behind AEW, they could at the very least be what Impact was when they first hit Spike Network, and way back in like 2005, 2006, which wasn't bad, but they were getting at most like 1.5, 2 million views. 1.5 million, 2 million views a week at their highest point. Now, it's going to be a little bit harder now to do something like that with Over the Top being the primary source of streaming or primary source of viewing, and Raw still only pulling in 3 to 3.5 million viewers per week. Factoid. Can you believe that Raw is actually pulling in more viewers per week than the WWE Network has subscribers? Let that marinate for a second.
People feel as though entertainment should be free, and I've been dealing with this with other situations all week.
No doubt.
People feel like entertainment should be free, and the best entertainment usually costs.
And for that reason, I mean, like I think to go into a situation to automatically assume that you want to go and compete against Vince McMahon is a bad way to go about doing business, because Vince has proven that he will crush you. Like a bug, he will crush you. That said, AEW has some great legs underneath them, as they sold out Double or Nothing in 4 minutes with the first wave of tickets.
I can dig it.
14,000 seat arena sold out in 4 minutes for a wrestling company that has not done one show yet.
You do your numbers and worry about your income, and don't try to count Vince McMahon's money.
Exactly.
That's a losing formula. I feel like best case scenario, AEW would be ECW with a far greater production budget.
That is exactly what I was going to say.
Worst case scenario, they're ROH with a better production budget.
And ROH actually is owned by a network conglomerate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They purposely try to keep things simple, I guess, in their presentation. I feel like the production value, because of the involvement of the Khan family, will be higher no matter what. So if the 18 to 35 demographic is as active in supporting AEW as I believe they are,
i.e. the Attitude Era in WWE from 99 to 04.
So that's where I get the ECW with a better production budget comparison. They could have that following. They very well could catch lightning in a bottle.
Honestly,
Or,
to tell you the truth, they could be WCW right off the rip. They already have the financial backing. They have the blueprint, and they have a lot of the pieces that WCW had. They have great writers. They have a good producer, because we can't get mad at Billy Gunn for being one of the producers. Actually, the only named producer they have.
Now WWE Hall of Famer Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
how is that going to work?
No. Hey.
I already said in the group text, I have money on the show being hijacked whenever Billy Gunn gets anywhere close to a microphone.
Oh, for the Hall of Fame?
Expect an
Yes.
AEW
Hall of Fame,
chant.
there's
That's
an
Hall of
AEW
Fame.
chant. Cody and the Bucks know how to tell a story. They know wrestling.
Will they be allowed to come?
If they buy tickets, I think so. I think they'll be purposely left off camera. But I don't think that Billy Gunn gotta go out of his way to give up, comp seats to AEW
With the
execs.
Hall of Fame, all we talking about is a class ring and $5,000. I'm just saying, like, look,
just keep it a buck.
Let's keeping it kayfabe. Let's keep it 100.
You get 5 G's and a ring.
That's it. We talking about a class ring, a 10-minute speech, which you're gonna have to split. Yeah, their speech won't be long because you have to split that 8 ways.
Well, 7.
No, actually, it's only going to be 6. The seventh one we talked about, we probably won't see because they haven't mentioned him.
Yeah, Rude. Yeah,
Rick
Triple
Rude
H
is outta
didn't
here.
mention Rude.
No.
Rude's not part of
Hold
it.
on. Am I thinking wrong? X-Pac,
Pac,
Triple H,
Yeah.
Shawn,
Yeah.
Road Dogg,
Yes.
China,
Yes. Billy.
Badass Billy Gunn.
6.
That's 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
So 5.
7 would be. Who's getting left out?
China. She ain't speaking.
Oh, well,
Yeah, China's not speaking on anybody's
if China
behalf.
speaks, fam, I'm running.
stop. Is somebody speaking on her behalf?
No.
X-Pac.
Or Triple H?
Triple H.
X-Pac's not married. I feel like he has a better shot at speaking on her behalf.
They're not going to let... Paul will not be speaking for China this evening.
No.
Paul, Triple H, terrorizing. None of them, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, none of them will be speaking on China's behalf. Thank you very much.
About China.
Yep, this is going to be the greatest show ever. I'm calling that now. This is the greatest show
Fam,
ever.
I'm telling you.
Greatest show ever.
When I get signed, this footage right here is going to come back.
It's going to be a problem.
This is why I should not apply for that open writer's job.
This is exactly why you should apply for the open writer's job.
Nah.
God.
I'm never
I mean,
gonna
we
make
can
it
take
to
we
Florida.
can take a vote on social media. Like, should I actually reapply for this writer's job or no?
Forget social media. Hey, fuck the casual fan. Apply for the job.
I agree. I'm talking about the pencil pushers. I agree, but I agree. Fuck the casual fan. Matter of fact, we need a counter to count how many times I can say "fuck the casual fan" in one episode.
Per episode.
But I'm not gonna ruin this
No.
Black History Month program.
No. That we'll save that. Do you want to save that for the pre-WrestleMania show or the post-WrestleMania show?
We can compare
I would
notes
definitely
on both.
say post WrestleMania.
Post-
My vote's for post-WrestleMania. You are the anti guy.
I will abide by the judge's decision.
You definitely got to save that video for the post WrestleMania.
Let me
If I had that term in the chamber after last WrestleMania, I'd have set a record.
fuck the casual fan
Counter.
Post WrestleMania.
Mania episode.
They're putting it in the log.
That's going down. So that is the New Year's. So WrestleMania, the day after WrestleMania is basically considered New Year's Day for pro wrestling fans.
Right.
So that's going to be our New Year's episode. Will be that one.
That's going to be
also
BC
going to
after
be
Mania.
like just actually shit. This is our 1 year anniversary, isn't it?
Yup.
Shit! Happy anniversary, my guy.
Wait. This isn't our 1 year anniversary.
Because
is it?
then we do Elimination Chamber last year for episode 1.
Did we?
I believe so.
Look them shits up.
It's not on the Podomatic. I had to delete it.
Damn, move them shits to the cloud, fam.
Hey, yeah. Well, so I
We
want to
need
say,
a web developer. I don't feel like doing it.
Matt, BrokenpencilBC at gmail.com. Make sure you holler at us. Shit. If you're from India, hang it up. I'm sick of getting your fucking phone calls.
We have monies. Do us a favor. At least convert the email from Arabic to English.
No, that was Russian.
Was it?
Yeah, that's
It was
Russian.
Russian.
Oh no, you got
Russian.
to block that.
Yeah, that's Russian.
Dos Vidania.
I don't even want to convert that. I don't even want to know what that shit says.
No, Svetlana.
No.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We're full.
I'm gonna say it. Nah.
Die.
Why don't you put a wall around our email account?
I wish I could. Because the problem is, like, I can't get into details on it, but let me just say this. The Indians have been calling me with everything short of dick pills for the website.
Oh my!
And they asked for broke pencil.
That's why. Is that what they're offering? Dick pills? Is that why they're offering dick pills? They're trying to give you Blue Chew and Viagra. Good God!
They're trying to sell horny goat weed through the internet.
T-Man root.
Time got Ali with this bitch.
Yeah, ginseng pills and gum.
Oh, it's so bad.
God,
Man.
oh,
Killer
man.
Bee scene.
All right, so all that nonsense for the mixtape release. And Ron Murray's question.
This is why
Download and listen to it, people.
This is why you need to have the season 1 mixtape, and I'm pretty sure that exchange made season 2 already.
This whole exchange just might be the season 2 mixtape. There's an outtake mixtape coming up soon, but again, with every episode there's outtakes, and right now we're up to over 3 hours with the outtakes, and I don't have time to listen to the shit, and neither do my co-host. So
nope.
Yeah, it's some wild shit. That's gonna be random as fuck when I finally put it.
We're just gonna have to comb through it to make sure nothing gets us sued.
And truth be told, that might be the spring break episode when I actually just go grab random pieces and scratch them shits in over instrumentals.
The South Padre episode.
Because bitch, Texas.
Wow.
Because bitch, Texas. Population of few.
All of us. You know what I'm saying? All of us.
Hey, man, y'all got hours to listen to this. Hold up.
If this is what the intro to the show comes off like, can you imagine how the rest of this is going to go?
It's about to be a solar fucking eclipse.
Short gas, honey.
Halftime heat. We had a 6-man tag team match during the Super Bowl. The last time we had halftime heat, if I'm not mistaken, was 1999. It was a boiler room brawl.
I thought it was a dark match.
1999 was actually an empty arena match between The Rock and Mankind.
Wasn't that the boiler room brawl?
No.
It was just empty arena match.
Boiler room brawl was 96 in SummerSlam.
Oh, okay, shit. Okay. I'm thinking empty arena. I'm thinking it's the same thing. But yeah, 99 was for sure.
One's above ground, one's below ground. It's like mainstream and underground, fam.
Hey, you know what, man? We just gonna lock y'all in this boiler room.
Right, so
y'all fight until somebody fall out.
was the empty arena match. Below ground was the boiler room brawl.
Okay, so Rock.
Then they came above ground and went to the ring.
The Rock and Mankind went up against the Bud Bowl and the Simpsons.
In my eyes, they won.
There's no doubt they won. No doubt.
How many times did he hit him with a chair?
That was at the Royal Rumble.
Hey, man. Hey, man. These unprotected ass chair shots to the dome piece.
Unprotected ass chair shots to the dome piece.
Hey, man, cut that shit out, man. You saw what happened to Mick. That's how that shit started. Right there.
Oh, my God. Stop hitting this man.
That was the birthplace of the A-man with the unprotected ass chair shots to the dome piece.
Hey, y'all cut that shit out. You saw what happened to Mick. Oh my God, concussions are not funny.
Yeah,
sure they are.
only when done like that. So, yeah. So who do we have in that 6-man? Because it was nonsense that happened post NXT Takeover.
On one side we had Aleister Black,
Dream,
the Velveteen Dream,
of course,
and Ricochet
against
Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, and Adam Cole.
Baby.
So yeah,
that just feels good.
It does. It really does. So an action-packed 6-man tag, pre-taped, not live, which depending on how you feel about your wrestling and how you digest your content, you feel how you feel. But an action-packed
I don't give a shit. NXT does it right with the territory style recording and the presentation.
And fun fact about this particular halftime heat, it was filmed and broadcast from the Performance Center, not Full Sail.
Nice.
That's right.
Nice.
That is right.
I didn't notice the crowd side, but that makes a lot more sense. Yes.
Great display of what the next generation of WWE in-ring action could look like.
If it was your introduction to NXT, everything that you saw from every individual, they basically left it all on the table and still didn't give you everything that they had in their repertoire, especially with Dream and Adam Cole. Those two specifically showed their natural asses in that ring during halftime heat.
And because of some things that have happened, it looks like those two people will be the ones carrying the brand going forward.
At least for the next 6 months. Or no, I'm sorry, not 6 months. Well, that actually would be through SummerSlam.
It's February.
Yeah, through SummerSlam.
For the next
6 months.
6 months. 8.
6.
8.
8 minus 2 is...
No. 8 plus 2 is 10.
What?
The fuck are you talking about?
Think about it. October is when?
SummerSlam is when?
I ain't worried about SummerSlam.
What's in October?
What's supposed to be
Fox.
in October? Thank you.
This fucking guy.
Hey, I'm
So
on
what
it.
we just
Props.
had, what we
Give you
just had
props.
was some
Stay on top of it.
We had broken pencil logic math.
Not to be confused with Steiner math.
Yeah, it's not Steiner math. There's not a 476% chance that we're gonna fuck around on this episode.
Because we're not fucking around.
It's not half.
There's
me,
a reason
it's
why
not
that happened.
half you. It's not half him.
So, for those of you who are lost about this math in these months, in 6 and 8 months, Danger was forecasting for the draft post SummerSlam, if that's still going to be what happens, especially since the post WrestleMania draft is happening in April. TPM, the Petty Messiah, was giving you math on the debut of SmackDown on Fox. So you decide which one is more important. Will the draft and the superstar shakeup that leads to Fox be the big point, or will the debut on Fox be the major issue?
Or will NXT debut on FS1?
Which is the new scuttlebutt going around on.
We'll talk about
I don't know who the hell got that shit to LaGreca, but shouts out to Dave LaGreca for that point of conversation today. Jesus, that you want to wake up and don't have no coffee? Find out some shit like that. You take a show that's on an over-the-top premium network and put that shit on Fox Sports 1 on GP.
Drop out.
All I'm saying is there are a lot of checks being cut.
There
are a lot of people benefiting from the sport of wrestling.
Here's my question. It could be, and right now it's rhetorical. Is that part of that $1 billion check?
It's got to be.
I don't think so.
It should be.
No. Because that deal specifically for SmackDown.
You think they came back and renegotiated?
It might be a double back. It might be a double back.
I'm all for it. Great.
Hey, there's more money on the table, fam.
More money.
So even if Vince came back and double back and said, "Hey, how about we buy time on Fox Sports 1 so we can sell advertising?" That's still a win.
And they'd give you a discount because you're gonna end up advertising SmackDown.
You're gonna be on Fox anyway.
And then you're doing talent trades. So now you have people like Brock Lesnar, right, Bobby Lashley, people that have a college pedigree doing college sports, college basketball, college football on Saturdays during the college football season on Fox Sports.
You can get Lashley to show up for a college sport. Brock ain't doing that shit.
Yeah,
what?
For the right check, without having to
would
sweat.
show up on Fox Sports 1 if they had any type of collegiate wrestling. Brock would show up for that.
You really think
that's
so?
His passion? Like,
you think?
Yeah.
Fam,
from a collegiate wrestling standpoint,
put the Gophers on TV and let it be broadcast
and let
on
Brock
Fox
come
Sports.
out there.
How much is the check gonna have to be for him to show up? I'm not saying that
it's $1 million.
At least $1 million.
And a flight home before the game ends.
And some Bud Light before you go home and get on top of his wife.
I got $1 million on a pre-tape.
Hey, leave his wife out of this, man.
I ain't never forgot.
We ain't trying to die.
Hey man, we on so many things. Like you forgot Brock is actually in the octagon beating up people and saying that after he beats up people.
And we still haven't heard anything about his return to the UFC.
Because it's on pause. Until John Bones Jones decides it's your turn, you don't have anything to do.
Bones has to go up. Brock cannot come down to Bones.
He's already been talking about Cain Velasquez. He's on his way up.
Kane is done. Kane is going to NXT.
He is done, but the
Kane's going to NXT. But I'm convinced.
He should, and he should get a knee brace before he gets there.
Let's look at it. Last SummerSlam, NXT Takeover Brooklyn, or whatever the fuck they were. I guess it was Brooklyn. Or was it LA?
It was Brooklyn.
You sure? I would have thought it was LA this year.
Next year.
Okay. At any rate, during that weekend, Cain Velasquez was in the crowd.
Good for him.
That's great.
That wasn't the first time that's happened.
What I'm saying
he's a fan.
The conversation right before Kane slipped, tripped, fell, and lost his career.
Yeah.
What, this time or the last time?
This time.
Okay.
There was a conversation about Kane potentially fighting Bones Jones because they need someone reputable for Jones to beat up when he makes the jump to heavyweight.
That's not going to be Kane now.
Well, it's not him now, but Jones.
It's going to be the UFC equivalent of what's the boy, Buster Douglas.
Do they have one of those?
He just beat Cain Velasquez. Do you know his name? Exactly.
Ndukwe.
No, that's wrong. So
Was that him?
Black History Month. It's African, and you.
No, it starts with an N.
It does start with an N with the G after it.
Thank you. I got close. Don't try to disrespect my whole analysis. Don't do that.
Wait, you say
Are
energy?
you big
Bring his
leaguing
name.
me?
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
So what if I tell the Petty Messiah you won't shake my hand?
I'm not going to shake your hand.
The chair slides back. The person in it stands up. But look, so if I can finally give the quote. So Jones actually came out and said, he was telling Kane, is like, I like you, but you need to not think you can fight me. You need to know you can, because I don't deal with... He basically cut a wrestling promo and then said, my move to heavyweight is inevitable. He's going to fight a heavyweight. And he's going to fight Brock at some point. But until Jones decides that, Brock doesn't have anything to do in UFC because Cormier is not fighting him.
I don't think Cormier is fighting at this point, because if Bones moves up and Brock has not been cleared to return back to UFC, he's not going to fight Jones again to lose the belt and to retire.
He's just languishing in the testing pool right now because he's there, he's clean, he's lost a bunch of weight, and he's waiting to fight someone, and he's getting older by the day.
By the day, yes.
Which I already had Bones Jones putting him to sleep.
Who?
Put
DC?
Lesnar to sleep?
Lesnar.
Yeah.
Lesnar. Cormier if he wants to smoke again. I got Jones versus everybody.
Jones versus the world.
Bones Jones is like my Becky Lynch. It's just that's it. Versus everybody.
He shows out. He shows up. He shows out. That's what.
Unless he high.
John Bones Jones, Becky Lynch, and Samoa Joe versus everybody. In real life.
In real life?
Yeah, because they going to book Samoa Joe into the dirt.
Right.
And they be ruining
man,
my
God, Joe deserves a WWE title run just off his resume prior to coming to the E.
He deserves for his contract to expire and AEW to pay him double.
Man, that part.
That's what he deserves, because this is
How do we know that's not what's going to happen?
We don't know that's going to
I don't know when his contract expires.
But we do know he's young enough to have another 5 or 6 years left in him. Look at Chris Jericho.
Samoa Joe will go over there and fight Chris Jericho.
Quickly.
In the face.
Quickly.
Right in the face.
Fight him in the face.
right in the face.
I will fight you in the
face, man.
Keep on fucking around. It's Black History Month. I'll fight you in the face.
Hey, man. AJ?
AJ ain't re-signed either.
Yo, speaking of Samoa Joe, we'll go ahead and get this one out the way right now. When we first started talking about the Body Bag Award, right. Samoa Joe was the first, the initial recipient.
Yes.
If he comes back with one more strong one before he leaves WWE, it might be called the Samoa Joe Body Bag Award. I will go on record and say that. Because he was the first one.
I can dig it.
I'm in total agreement with that. Right. I honestly feel like we should call it the Samoa Joe.
He hasn't been. Matter of fact, I think they've taken him off the mic since.
Yeah, you don't really.
He said shit.
You wanna know why?
They have reduced his.
You wanna know why?
Because he body bag.
They have reduced his speaking.
Never give him the live mic again.
And he said, "Shut up while I'm sharing with the group."
Why don't you act like
this is an AA meeting?
You must go to the Instagram page if you haven't seen it and check out the Body Bag Award that my man Swab Burgundy gave to Samoa Joe about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. Good Lord.
It's a thing of beauty.
And we've had Body Bag Award winners since then.
And we'll get to those here shortly.
Yes.
First and foremost, we had a pay-per-view this past weekend.
That we did.
The Elimination Chamber.
Well, was it a pay-per-view or was it a really long version?
It was a pay-per-view. Don't
shit on it. It was
an Elimination Chamber involved.
It was a really good pay-per-view. It was really good.
But if Raw had put that on Monday, you would have been okay.
I mean, it'd have been.
I wouldn't have been mad. It'd have been a great Raw. It'd have been a great Raw.
Then. We watch a pay-per-view and then we watch a great episode of Raw.
We watched a good episode, a good pay-per-view, and a great episode of Raw. That's what we saw.
All right. That's how I feel about it.
I can tell.
So for the
large cup of meh
for the Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa in a Mac Classic. A Mac Classic.
Now they flexed.
Yeah, they did the damn thing. Hey, you want to go out to pre-show and show your ass and show why you deserve to be in the main time?
205 hates Japanese wrestlers.
Yeah, all of them. Every last one of them.
Which is why
We done ran off.
All of them. They didn't went home. Some of them probably going to AEW.
ran off Hideo Itami. He's back
gone.
home.
No. Call him by his real name.
Kenta.
Thank you.
Kenta returns to New Japan shortly.
Soon.
13 minutes, 25 seconds for this match here, and it's worth every minute. Yeah.
That's right. It was longer.
That's about right, though.
Pause.
Nah.
And Mark Henry came out and propped up the cruiserweights
Good
prior
job.
to the pay-per-view.
Mark Henry is back working in an authoritative capacity with WWE, and I feel like maybe
He's operating at a high level too.
Yes, he is. He ain't sweeping no floors.
Catch him on Tuesdays on Busted Open, my favorite wrestling show to listen to when I'm not doing the Broken Pencil Booking Company podcast with my guys, my G's, my men.
I can dig that.
All right, so the Tag Team Elimination Chamber match. Listen, for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. So that whole match was spent with me on the phone. On a chat with WWE Network support. Wow. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 devices in my house that are hooked up to WWE Network, and they thought I was trying to bootleg my shit in my own house.
Baller, shot caller, 20-inch blades, on them baller,
Caller,
getting laid tonight,
Swisher roll tiger,
spray my eye,
highway,
making money to fly
away,
but it's gotta be a
better way,
yeah.
Cause you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really?
Yeah, Black History Month.
Black, y'all.
BHM.
Man, fuck y'all, man.
That just made season 2 mixtape.
Man, that is
We doing the whole season 2 mixtape tonight, baby.
Yo.
We might well put this bitch out next week.
So Jazz Mack and Ron Murray both just pop right now. They probably on pause right now.
Just start picking out these records so we can go.
Man.
Fam, this is a hit avenue. We giving you the records you need.
That's a hit. And based on the conversation that me and Suave had prior to this podcast, that one goes right in there. That's on there.
It's called Symmetry.
Synergy. Symmetry, you name it.
Cynicism. We don't like you.
All right. Let's break down the facets of this tag team match, right?
Wow.
Shoot.
The Riot Squad.
Filler.
Mark Henry's prediction, the Iconics.
I kind of feel like they might go that way just to shake things up.
The Monsters, Nia Jackson, Tamina.
My baby mom.
They will never be crowned the way they need to be.
Corey Graves, Eye Candy. We got Carmella. Versus a Uso.
FABULOUS, yes.
Wait, who was
Naomi.
allegedly driving on the wrong side of the road.
AKA getaway driver.
Yeah, like how did she come out of that situation so unscathed?
Oh, she didn't.
Oh, you want to know how?
No, she did not. She did not.
Oh, but she did.
But she didn't. Stand by.
Okay, I'm listening.
Against the Boss Hug Outlaws.
Boss Hug Outlaws.
When I hit the club, all the girls show me love.
Yeah, the boss. Fuck, I'm not calling them that. The Boss Hug Outlaws. That's who they are.
Yes, they the Boss Hug Outlaws.
Down here, because Texas, bitch.
Yeah,
they are the Boss Hug Outlaws.
Yes.
And hey, look, WWE creative. We know you listen. We understand. If you call them that on TV, that's fine.
They were in Houston. Somebody should have invited Slim Thug and gave him seats.
Motherfucker.
That's why I need to be in Stanford.
Right there.
But I don't know what the bag looking like. Somebody need to contact me directly. I shouldn't have to apply.
That's a real
Jim
bag.
Ross need to drive down here and
I
come
shouldn't
see
have
us.
to apply online. We need to start some dialogue.
That's a real bag.
Jim Ross, I barbecue. I'm vegan, but I barbecue. Holla at your boy. Hey, look. So Hollywood Hug Hogan, Bailey.
Ha!
You like that? That's your shit. And Sasha Banks. They actually won the belts, but in true fashion, you said who Naomi got out unscathed? No, she didn't, because we predicted based on all the shit that happened this past weekend. True. Based on all the shit that happened this weekend, we knew Carmella and Naomi was going out first.
I meant in real life,
within a few seconds.
I'm talking about in real life when charges may have been pressed.
When charges were mentioned,
no one was detained. No one talked about anything other than squaring up.
Squaring up.
And we'll get to that shortly. But ain't nobody talked about how she ended up driving on the wrong side of the road. How much alcohol or dope did you have to have consumed?
Well, I won't say dope, but I know she had to be. You're
not in the UK. You're not in Australia. You're in Detroit.
Marijuana doesn't violate the wellness policy anymore. I don't think it's like a $25 fine.
Nah, I ain't gonna throw it.
One of my favorites to talk about is a 2-time offender.
Who that?
The voices in your head.
They need to give Rob Van Dam his title run back if that's the case.
Actual.
Rob Van Dam should still be champion.
Sabu should still have a job.
Evan Bourne should never have been let go.
No. His was a little bit more stupid than just that. That was just dumb. That's like riding a motorcycle playing for the NBA. It's just shit you just don't do.
And then of course, if we go down to NXT,
yeah, you did exactly.
Matt.
Huh? It looked good last week.
This motherfucker's a celebrity game. Fuck out of here, man.
It was dope. Why you mad though?
Matt Riddle.
I'm just saying, how high did you have to get?
And on that note, that's probably where Suave's statement came from.
You know Matt Riddle didn't stop smoking to go to NXT.
Hell, you can tell. You can look at his eyes and tell. His shit ain't been white since the motherfucking
He was
first
on
day.
edibles at the last takeover.
My man wrestled barefoot like a Von Erich. You know he
kick flips his flip-flops off his feet.
The last person to wrestle barefoot in WWE broke his foot in a match and was out for 3 months.
Rusev Day.
Jesus.
Next up. Oh, and then mind you, that tag match lasted 33 minutes. It was worth it. It was a very entertaining match. But the fact that Carmella and Naomi went out first. And how Nia Jax just 86'd herself. She bulldozed through the plexiglass.
Hey man, I had to call her and check on her.
That was smart. You had to take, because if you,
that's the only way you're taking somebody out, is to have the entire remainder of the roster pile up on top of the tag team part of the biggest monster.
They pulled a big show spot with her.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it was great.
Those two would have kicked the shit out of anybody else remaining.
By default, I thought Tamina and them would actually walk out. Tamina and Nia Jax should have gone out.
They're going to get a run. I'm sure, just because Tamina needs one. I think they're going to get a run, but it's not going to be anytime soon.
Can I submit to you a possible remix that would have been cool for this match?
Bring it.
So, we all know that Carmella and Naomi was a makeshift team.
Yeah.
But Asuka and Naomi had been teaming pretty regular before Asuka's now title run.
Believe it or not, that was actually about a year ago, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
A year ago?
Was it a year?
It was after she lost the belt to Charlotte.
There was a little bit of space before they started teaming, though. But
there was also that space. You didn't see Asuka either.
These are truths. But what I'm saying about that is because they have history as a tag team, and because Asuka was the champion at the time, it would have made sense to put her in the match because she is trying to become a dual champion. And with Naomi getting pinned the way she did, it could have started a rift between the two where Naomi would have been the challenger for Asuka for WrestleMania.
Broken pencil logic applied right there.
She still needs a challenger.
That's all I'm saying. And now you're trying to build up Mandy Rose by giving her TV wins over Asuka when those things don't come easily.
All right, so let's fast forward. Next match. The Usos versus The Miz and Shane McMahon, which we thought the Usos were going under too.
The Usos, whose contracts are up in April, apparently.
Please don't go to AEW. We really love y'all.
They got made good on a promise, apparently, because first of all, Miz, I've always liked the Miz in the ring. Looked over.
Before you get into the Miz, explain why we thought the Usos were going to lose.
Square up.
So okay, break that down.
All right,
Unpack that.
So there was a story that broke late, I believe it was late Thursday night, that these are alleged, but
allegedly,
but coming through the broadcast media and through social media and news media,
allegedly,
that Naomi was driving a vehicle on the wrong side of the road, was pulled over, and her husband John Uso John Fatu in real life hops out of the vehicle and quote unquote squared up with the police.
He had some choice words for the officer on duty. because Naomi was attempting to ghost ride the whip in a Black History Month program on an unauthorized street.
Shouts out to the Outlaw Dave House.
And in her attempt to be Mac Dre, she was pulled over. And Booyah Tribe member Jonathan Fatu hopped out of the passenger seat, had choice words for the officer on duty, and then offered for him to catch the fade or square up.
Say oos.
Say oos.
Say
Square
oos.
up.
You see me right now. This the Uso Penitentiary.
Please.
Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary.
Please. Anybody who listens to this, if you are a professional wrestler, sports entertainer, what have you, do not take what we're saying as hatred.
Because we love them.
We love you and we love
all
the drama. That shit funny.
We're just
Because you can just imagine.
keep it kayfabe, fam.
That shit funny.
He kept it super kayfabe. Like, hey, he kept it funky. He got out the car and was like, hey, who's?
We keeping it kayfabe because we adding levity to a situation that could have been truly fucked.
It could have went differently. This could have been. He could not have made it to the pay-per-view.
Because what we said, he could have not made it nowhere else.
Nowhere else after that night.
Because what we said in the group text, I said, well, shit, the cop on duty had to be a WWE fan. Otherwise, he'd have shot him.
Right.
In Detroit?
In Detroit?
They can't afford to pay the police, but they all got bullets.
How many Samoans do you ever see in the city of Detroit? It ain't that many Samoans in Detroit. So that's terrifying to see this big ass dude get out.
Are there any Samoans in Detroit?
There's Samoans everywhere.
Hit us on Broken Pencil BC.
I want to know that. That's got to be something like
at Broken Pencil BC.
I want to know that shit. Like
on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Broken Pencil BC.
We as humans are all one.
If you are a Samoan,
we might be.
No, fuck that.
But it ain't but one Samoan in Detroit.
If you are a Samoan in Detroit, we want to know about you and your story. Because we need content.
Suckers got to know.
Suckers needs to know.
All right. Moving along. So the Usos 6-time SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They're inching up on Hardy and Dudley territory here.
I think I got a theory on what happens with the Usos.
They got pictures of somebody in the back naked.
They're going to finally get their WrestleMania moment.
I think they get the WrestleMania moment against the New Day.
Yes.
And the New Day ends the show holding all the belts. Yep.
Yes.
I would love for that to be the case.
They deserve it.
Yes.
More than anything, they deserve it. Because that means just they came from nothing. They literally came from nothing, and no one knows about who Consequences Creed is at this point. You have no clue who Consequences Creed is.
You gotta be a pencil pusher or a crate digger.
Man. All right. So next up, Finn Balor in a handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship against Lio Rush and my man, the Almighty Lashley.
I'd like to start by saying Bobby Lashley is doing some of the best work he's done since returning to the WWE, and this is a damn crying shame that now you use Bobby Lashley to give Finn Balor a consolation prize.
This match single-handedly makes his Impact work look better than his WWE work, and he was on his way to eclipsing his Impact work. He's got some work to do to do that now, but yeah, Leo hopping in to take the fall.
First of all, we need to get Leo a better barber and a wave cap.
No. To
and
get
a
him,
brush.
To say we need to get him a better barber would imply that he actually has one.
Somebody's cutting his hair.
Himself, who's not licensed.
Okay, fam, it's time for you to put the clippers down.
I heard he got Kevin Durant's barber.
Oh my God.
Sweet.
Oh, from the peanut guy. Oh, man. Ouch.
Damn.
Ooh. Bad game show host. Ooh.
The answer's 3. The answer's 3.
We're looking for 3.
We're looking for 3.
Next up, Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott for the WWE
Squash
Raw
match.
Women's Championship.
Damn squash match.
Ultimate squash match.
Some bullshit.
Not really. We got the Keeping It Kayfabe award coming out of this one, fam.
No. Before we get to the Keeping It Kayfabe award, we got to talk about the fact that Ronda Rousey finally changed her in-ring gear 2 months before she was supposed to.
Hold on. No, so this is a twofold conversation here because there's elements to this The match was 1 minute and 40 seconds, and there's elements to this.
That's some bullshit.
Wow.
But no.
It is, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah, but there's elements to this.
Right. So for those of you who don't know, or for those of you who don't play video games, Ronda Rousey is the voice of Sonya Blade on the new Mortal Kombat game that is coming in, I believe, April.
And I said this to my wife, since Ronda has been in WWE, this is the best she has looked in ring from an apparel standpoint in the last 11 months that she has been gracing WWE rings.
Agreed.
Totally agreed. So she
Agreed.
shows up dressed as Sonya Blade,
Literally.
which would have been absolutely epic for
At
WrestleMania. Not at the Elimination Chamber in dead crowd ass Houston.
At a minute and 40 clip at that.
So she shows up,
And you waste a uniform.
she wasted the uniform, but she used it. She maximized the use of it with the flawless victory.
She literally
She
grabbed this
captured
girl's arm
She captured the body bag award.
and grabbed it, and before she locked in her finishing maneuver, said flawless victory, and then proceeded to make a tap out.
Single-handedly capturing our attention for the entire match in 1 second.
Who else? Okay, here's a quick question. Who else could you have squashed in that particular situation? Could you have squashed a
Ruby
different...
White.
Well, here's the thing. The only other person,
Ruby Riott.
The only other person I would have squashed in that situation that where it would have meant more would have been Nikki Cross.
Nah, I'm not gonna send out Cross. Nah,
Yeah, it's because
I'm not gonna let Nikki play to get squashed.
It's a pay-per-view.
You could have sent out Alicia Fox.
for a pay-per-view.
It's 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's
Alicia
not like
Fox.
For a pay-per-view.
We ain't selling nothing based on Ronda Rousey's opponent. It's Ronda Rousey who's selling, and she's only doing it for 1 minute and 40 seconds. You could have tried Renee Young out there. And you'd have got the same damn result.
I mean, shit, she was available. I mean,
she was on commentary.
she was right there.
You could have sent the other Bella twin out there.
shit, Beth Phoenix was there.
She was right
Beth
there.
wasn't gonna tap.
Beth was gonna pick up and throw. Beth.
Dig what I'm saying?
Shit,
First
get,
and foremost-
get Charlie ass from the back.
No, we're not gonna do that to Charlie. We're not gonna do that to JoJo. We're not gonna handle them like that.
Speaking of JoJo's been MIA. I got a feeling that she has something to do with this Bray Wyatt return.
I thought she was just on TV.
No.
Wouldn't she? Had she been announcing?
She hadn't been on Raw. She wasn't at the pay-per-view.
Was she at the Royal Rumble?
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is she pregnant?
Yeah. No, stop.
That's how I thought he was going towards. Like, hey, man, look, what she does in private is her business, bro.
Hey, man, if they had to take her off TV, we understand. If she come back as Sister Abigail, that'd be kind of cool.
That would no.
Fam.
Sister
I don't know if she got the chops to pull that off.
Listen,
Hey,
Sister
she gonna come back
Nikki
with
Cross
dreads,
is
looking like
Sister
Epiphany
Abigail.
Proudfoot. It's going down.
They need to just leave Sister Abigail alone. Period. We're done with that.
Sister Abigail should be an actual woman.
It should be.
Sarah Del Rey.
should have been, but
Should
now
have been a real
should
woman.
still, especially now that he's been off TV so long. That's who should come out and announce him. Like when they had them weird ass little kids introduce Taken when he came back the first time.
Little weird ass kid.
You don't remember that? He's here. And this motherfucker come riding out of the motorcycle.
World.
Oh yeah.
and that was in St. Louis. Oh God. All right,
Continue.
We were looking for 3.
So
3.
right. So post Ronda Rousey match, we get a crippled, quote unquote, Becky Lynch coming from the crowd
With a biker girl's
Dressed as
outfit.
Scorpion
She's
from Mortal
dressed as
Kombat.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I'll live with that.
and she has 2 crutches, rolls into the ring, and Charlotte was ringside.
Was she?
Oh yeah, she
Charlotte was in the ring.
No, Charlotte was ringside for the match.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And
Smoking dope.
smoking dope. Listen, Becky Lynch grabbed that stick as if it was a kendo stick. Now I'm talking about the crutches.
Yes.
And she waylaid the bejesus out of both them bras.
If you go back and watch, because I tried to watch the Elimination Chamber again, just for
S and Gs.
S and Gs. So the first shot to Ronda Rousey is upper shoulders.
Yep.
Second shot,
The face.
square in the forehead. So she ends up busted open hard way.
Busted open the OG, the old fashioned way, the
OG
hard way.
And then there's another shot that me and Deja instantly caught watching the pay-per-view that they have edited. They changed the angle on it.
Yeah, the one where she get hit in the face.
No, when she gets hit directly in the hoo-ha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We both cringe. We both cringe.
It was-
so.
I mean-
So the replay doesn't show that anymore.
It shows it, but they changed the angle slightly.
Oh.
So remember how we saw it? It was like
it was dead on. There was no question where she got tattooed.
Yeah, they changed it to where
there were some people in the crowd that knew that too.
Yeah, they took it from a hard camera shot to like an off to the side.
Go to 3.
Right. We're looking for 3. Looking for 3.
Ooh, we need 3. 3 was the answer.
3. Yeah. Thanks for playing.
Enjoy our lovely parting gifts. But yeah, Becky went all
toaster?
the way in.
We have a gift certificate from Seagulls. They've got hot chips and gin.
Shout out to Seagulls.
Come on down the Seagulls.
We got hot chips and gin. All right, that's it for that.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go through the whole.
Yeah, they have to pay for that one.
Yeah, you got to drop.
Catch it on the mixtape though.
But yeah, it was Becky kept it kayfabe.
Like a motherfucker.
This is the only thing Becky Lynch has done in the last few months that I have to say.
I was going to say, you are the biggest Becky detractor that I have ever met.
It was,
and
you
loved it.
He feels about this Becky Lynch the way I feel about face Daniel Bryan.
True.
Yes, movement Daniel Bryan is a scourge of the earth.
And that's how I feel about Becky Lynch.
Hip hip hooray, Daniel Bryan.
Oh, hip hip hooray,
Daniel Bryan is the greatest thing ever.
Hip hip hooray!
Captain Planet Daniel Bryan is the greatest thing that the WWE has seen from Daniel Bryan.
Geeked up Captain Planet.
Oh, love it.
Fickle.
Negan stop Daniel Bryan is
Listen.
Captain Planet, he's a hero.
In the face.
In the face.
But even as someone that does not like Becky Lynch at all, like I have no love for Becky Lynch.
That's how you know we don't. This isn't like
the pander that is the Becky Lynch project right now. It just drives me insane. I want to turn my TV off every time.
Let's talk about pander a little bit. So. You may not care much about this card on paper until you actually watch the pay-per-view. And you would think that a 1 minute and 40-second match would probably be the biggest throwaway on the pay-per-view. Not true.
It was not.
The biggest throwaway in the pay-per-view was this next match. Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman.
Oh, my God.
In a no DQ match.
I am so sick of seeing this.
And, backing up, we did see Lashley chokeslam Leo Rush and then act like he was going to turn face, and the crowd even chanted for him.
The crowd loved it.
Yeah, but didn't we see him back out there shortly afterwards?
I mean, literally 20 minutes later.
Yeah, jumping the shit out of Braun Strowman alongside Drew McIntyre. 10 minutes and 50 seconds later, Baron Corbin comes out on top.
If they don't use this to re-debut the Wyatt family, then it's pointless.
At least Bray.
Why are we trying to get sympathy on a 6'10", 340-pound monster?
A strong man.
Why
eats people, man.
Why are we trying to get sympathy on him? For what? Why is he not just kicking the shit out of people and going on about his day?
I don't understand how he's not able to defeat Baron Corbin soundly.
But he was victimizing Roman Reigns at will.
And Brock Lesnar.
So, okay, good that you mentioned that. I figured out by watching 2017 pay-per-views that actually, from watching these 2017 pay-per-views, that Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman was the World Championship program.
That's your World Heavyweight Champion.
So Braun Strowman probably would have been a 2-time Universal Champion by the way that they were booking the back and forth between him and Roman Reigns.
True.
That would have exponentially changed the way that you view Braun Strowman today.
Right.
Brock Lesnar has crippled more heavyweights than polio.
Talk about it.
Bring that back. Bring that back.
One more time.
Brock Lesnar has crippled more future heavyweights for the WWE than polio, car accidents, steroid use,
leukemia.
Damn.
God damn it.
Not in this climate, man.
Hey.
We're going to pause for station identification. You're currently tuned into the Broken Pencil Booking Company podcast.
BrokenpencilBC at gmail.com. BrokenpencilBC on all things social.
We thank you for your listening.
All right.
Leukemia.
Good God, bro. Have you no shame, no couth,
I need you to get well soon and come back because they gonna need you, fam. We all gonna need you. But somebody gotta get this belt off Brock, and I don't think they trust anybody else to do it. So get well soon. Get back out there.
But yeah, they booked Strowman to be the foil and the kryptonite to Roman Reigns and Superman, and in booking him like that made him an absolute superstar. Yep. But he didn't have any title reigns to help boost the level of superstar that he was. And then when it became time for him to have title shots, they expected him to do the same thing to Brock that he did to Roman. Didn't work out like that because Brock don't do business like that. And now you have a mid-card monster whose stock is rapidly dropping, and you don't really have a way to fix it other than sending him to SmackDown. And that's not really what he does.
Actually, you got one way to fix it.
Which would be?
You let him fight Brock at WrestleMania and win. Clean.
How do we
get him to that point now? Or here's the other way. Raw after Mania, whoever wins is a transitional champion.
Oh, hold on. So the last time we saw a title change Raw after Mania was when Stone Cold beat Kane.
That was after King in the Ring.
Yeah.
No. Didn't that happen? I thought it happened after Mania. So was there a title change Raw after Mania?
That's a good stat to look up.
We don't know.
Let's table it. I don't believe there's been a title change after.
There's been some cash-ins that have been pretty great.
Well,
you go. That's Ziggler. Ziggler is it. Ziggler won the world championship.
But he got stripped though, right? Because of injury.
He ended up wrestling
Del
Rio right after that. Got a concussion and then had to drop.
That was at Judgment Day, right? Whatever the pay-per-view was after Mania.
Right. Might have been Backlash.
And that was a double turn that didn't work.
Right.
Okay.
Complete sabotage. But that is a good stat to look up to see how many title changes historically have happened the day after WrestleMania. So that might need to be the new thing.
If you can get Braun Strowman with a title to start the new year off,
it's not going to happen.
That's going to be the only way that you can subdue that crowd going forward is if you do some shit like that.
It's not going to happen.
I agree, but I think that's the only way.
Because if his music hits and he don't come out there and win.
Now, you could get Strowman coming out and starting a fight with Brock and finally getting a W over him. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely, I'm all for that.
Yeah,
that you could get that, and then you can start the ball back rolling with Strowman getting his heat back. But right now, mid-card monster, and the only thing that's going to make him even remotely relevant is a Wyatt family reunion, and I hate that for him because he's done too much right to be just derailed by bad booking. When's the last time you saw him break some shit?
And if he is going to be part of a Wyatt family reunion, Bray needs to be the overseer, and Braun needs to be the fucking enforcer. Like he needs to be the fucking man going out there.
That's how it always was though.
But keep him off the mic though. Like let Bray
stop scripting promos for him. Stop scripting promos for him and stop letting him talk as much. Yes, we know he can speak, but he doesn't need to.
I just wanted to hear him say "get these in." When he was in the back, he was in the back and he threw dude over that table and he was like, "Who else wants to get these in?" I was
that's
like,
"That's all we need."
That was perfect.
Like we need like drunken
angry bar fight
verbs.
Just
angry bar fight language. That's all I want out of Strowman.
Braun, you take one beer, guzzle it, and action.
I don't think one beer would actually phase him. Take one keg.
Just enough.
Just pick the keg up and
drink as much as you want from this keg.
This is not Andre we're talking about. We're talking about Braun.
It might as well be.
How much? It ain't that much.
Well, I mean,
there's Big John Studd.
Yeah,
there's a dated reference.
There you go. Rest in peace, Big John Studd.
Yeah.
All right, fight the main event: Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Kofi Kingston, Randy Orton, and Samoa Joe. Randy Orton won the privilege of coming. We talked about this too. Randy Orton won the privilege of coming in last in this match from a gauntlet match that got Kofi's love to an all-time high. And Randy came in. You hear his music, RKO, 1, 2, 3. Pose, splash screen, end show, all in about 10 seconds. The shortest cameo for a pinfall probably in the history of WWE by a winner, and it fades to black.
Good. He didn't need an extended time in the ring. The story was about Kofi.
The story was definitely about Kofi, and we found out after Joe got eliminated first.
I'm sick of that shit. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm sick of that shit.
Jeff couldn't go out first.
I believe he went out second.
Fuck is we doing? Like what? fuck are we doing?
So the guy that can jump off of stuff, we gonna get rid of him.
The guy
he didn't even jump off shit.
The guy who sacrificed himself in a fucking Hell in a Cell to Randy Orton gets eliminated second and couldn't even jump off shit.
The cat who swanton bombed off the side of the stage before they changed the Raw
he did
stage.
jump off shit. He jumped off a pod on the AJ.
Ooh.
That was I mean, it was a cool spot.
Yeah, it was a cool spot, yeah.
It was a cool looking spot.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy could have went out first, though. But ain't nobody expecting him to headline now WrestleMania now time soon.
But that Houston crowd was dead the entire match until
Randy Orton got pinned.
Was on fucking Percocets.
Look. When Randy Orton got pinned,
they were in Houston. They were on purple.
Right, they was on that drink.
It ain't that much drink in Houston to hang out
That
with that many
lean was
people.
flowing freely.
Hey man, hold up.
Ain't no more activists, and they ain't out there sipping high tech like that. Those were codeine pills. Yes, we know drug culture too.
Chewing them like Skittles.
We already know Randy's gonna RKO everybody at the end. Oh crap, Randy's pinned.
Yeah, Randy out of there. I don't think he even got an RKO in there, did he?
He hit AJ with
AJ. Okay,
yeah.
He eliminated AJ, which I expect them to wrestle in WrestleMania.
Yeah, that'll be a good one too.
AJ versus Orton.
That should be about a good.
Well, that Orton
match.
off that springboard is gonna be amazing.
That's a sleeper.
That RKO from the springboard, it's gonna be a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
true.
So Daniel Bryan wins after a bunch of false finishes. Kofi's the GOAT. New Day runs out after I'm guessing a telegraph. Okay, guys, go out there now. And they shoot a really dope picture on the edge of the Elimination Chamber
with the backdrop of the WrestleMania sign.
The crowd was pissed.
Foreshadowing.
The crowd was pissed. They could have called an audible, but I guess they feel that less is more, or like let them wait for it. I agree. If there was ever time to pull the trigger, like
it was Elimination Chamber.
There are two events I think that could have changed the history of professional wrestling forever. Stone Cold stunning Mr. McMahon after shaking Mr. McMahon's hand after beating the Rock and turning on the Rock and becoming corporate Steve Austin.
WrestleMania 17.
Mm-hmm.
X7.
Okay. Also in Houston.
Houston is just a place where
X7
where wrestling dreams go to die.
Right. X725 in this shit here. So
you want your wrestling dream to die?
So
take it to H-Town.
And the Royal Rumble's there next year.
That shit is X7 at a base. We'll talk about that in a second. X7. So Stone Cold shaking Vince McMahon's hand, and then if he would have stunned him, that would have changed the course of professional wrestling history forever.
You wouldn't have got Stone Cold wearing a small cowboy hat with
no Jimmy Crack-Corn and no what's. No what's. We don't get what's without that.
The what shit was kind of cool, but everything else I could have done without.
17 years later?
Still cool.
Shit.
In the right place, still
cool.
Okay. All right.
Because the crowd knows when to do it. It's the funniest shit.
I disagree. They hijack shit with that what.
So
learn how to talk. Hey, if you don't want people to say what, stop leaving those pregnant pauses in what you're speaking.
When you cut a concise promo, they don't what you. Or if you know how to work around it, they just stop.
Or if you play along with them, they'll have fun with you.
Stop giving people scripted promos. Maybe they won't what you.
Prime example of that is Elias. Elias is the king of that shit.
See?
Yeah, he worked around it. That shit, and then Kofi calling. If they called an audible in the ring, and let Kofi go ahead and win that belt this past pay-per-view, because now if Kofi wins at the Fastlane,
it's transitional.
No, it's pandering. It's fucking that's the word. We said it earlier this year. The word for 2019 is fucking pandering.
What I feel like you probably get at Fastlane now is you get a classic match between Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston with some type of interference from Rowan and or someone else to cost Kofi the match. Then you end up getting
your WrestleMania
WrestleMania rematch. You end up getting it because the outrage is just so great, and you have to have another contender. I saw it coming, but I was like,
I don't see why he's even fighting him at Fastlane. Like, this doesn't make sense.
Because you need a main event
for Fastlane.
Yeah, number one, Daniel Bryan said tonight that nobody in this ring is going to be facing me. What I didn't like was the fact that Shane McMahon pulled double duty and started the show and ended the show, and he was the one that called Kofi Kingston. And it was pandering because the crowd in where were they at tonight? New Orleans. The crowd in New Orleans chanted for Kofi
because Lafayette was trash last night.
Hey, I would be surprised if they ever went back to Lafayette, at least in the next 10 years.
But the Cajun Dome usually be turned up.
That's what I'm saying.
But you've been giving them trash for like the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months.
So your diehard fans aren't going.
Yeah, they're not. I'm not spending money to watch anything on the road to WrestleMania.
And if you
I went last year.
And if you ever go to a road to a house show at somewhere like the Cajun Dome, you're not going to get shit because Alexandria got more on Saturday than what the Cajun Dome got on Monday, because that's when they had the quote unquote re-injury to Becky Lynch that they advertised at a fucking house show.
So you get the point.
That shit look like some territory
like
shit.
Those tickets and those seats, especially for those shows on the road to WrestleMania, end up selling for a little bit too much for you to just be getting trash. And because you've been giving them such piss poor programming on television for all this time, when you finally gave them a show that made sense, they weren't involved. They weren't engaged. They were sitting there on their hands like, yeah, whatever. Big deal.
All right, so
wow me, funny man.
So Daniel Bryan goes over Kofi, and New Day comes out to console.
I just need Kofi versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. That's it.
Somehow, some way, we get to that. I
feel like you get some type of weird finish at Fastlane to where you get the rematch at WrestleMania.
I wouldn't be mad if Kofi won at Fastlane and then turn around and retain at Mania.
I wouldn't be mad at that either. But I think the more emotional story is to see him win at WrestleMania.
At Mania. Get his moment.
Let me ask you this question though: anybody watch the Elimination Chamber kickoff show?
The whole like the commentary aspect of it? Or
no, there's one specific part of it.
No,
did you watch?
No.
Shoot.
So the specific part of it is the vignettes they've been showing with Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
and because
I saw those,
I read what you sent in the group text about the potential challengers for Bryan if they're not going with Kofi. And
Kevin Owens.
And Kevin Owens was one of them, and I was like, why? But then
it makes sense.
His vignettes start to make sense where he's like eating horribly. He's not really taking everything seriously.
He was at the movies on the last one.
But he was only eating popcorn. I wouldn't call it horribly.
On the Elimination Chamber.
Eating pizza.
He's eating pizza.
Oh, but how he's in the gym training and shit. Okay.
Yeah, he's in the car eating pizza. So it kind of sets up as a counter to Daniel Bryan's character, but I think what they have with Kofi is so organic right now. You have to ride that out.
I agree.
Raw after Mania, if Kofi wins, he's now in a feud with Kevin Owens.
But Kevin Owens is on Raw.
Don't matter.
We don't know where he is.
We don't know
right
where
now,
Kevin Owens is.
Also, he's a free agent right now.
Because he's been saying, I don't know if I'm going to be on Raw or SmackDown. They haven't told me.
See.
So,
and that's because they don't know themselves. They like,
yeah, we're just gonna shove.
We're gonna wing it.
And it doesn't matter where you put him before WrestleMania if you're gonna have a superstar shakeup in April.
How many fucking sticks is this? Like 25? Jesus Christ.
Hey, we're taking a small pause here.
Bro.
Let you know the people over
We've gotten some gifts from our sponsors that we're opening on the air.
live.
Yes.
Cellophane.
Sitting right here.
Crackle.
Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised to see 25 sticks in this damn box of a stick I usually don't smoke. But guess what's going to happen?
Stick talk.
Yeah, these damn things getting smoked. Like joints.
Wow. Like joints. Slow down.
Joints.
The Broken Pencil
Slow down, Freight Train.
does not promote drug use of any kind.
Shit.
You do what you need to do to get through the day.
You don't.
Oh shit!
All right, so Kofi Kingston.
I feel like
that's your guy. So we're bigging him up, man. And you said you got stats on him.
Well, number one, this is one of the Killer Kowalski guys.
Back up. That I didn't know that shit.
He is. First of all, let us introduce you to this segment of Kofi Goat Talk.
We've already had one Goat Talk this season, or last season.
Last season on the Broken Pencil Booking Company.
Previously on the Broken Pencil Book. Shouts out to my baby girls.
Good
fruit of my loins. Yeah. So
whole pay-per-view put on pause.
Nah, man.
In the last 3 minutes. So we can hear.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
For 3 minutes for a 10. No, don't do that.
3 minutes.
Don't do that. And if it was 3 minutes, so fucking what? It's my baby. You fuck.
I ain't doing no arguing.
Spoken like a true parent.
Stupid
everyone.
Fuck. Yeah. So anyway, last season we had Chris Jericho Y2J Goat Talk. And there was a lot of shit we left out, but there was enough to give you an arguable case for Chris Jericho to be the GOAT. After all that we're seeing right now with Kofi, he's going to get this belt. If he doesn't get this belt, he's going to AEW. I'm saying it here right now. But my man, TPM, the Petty Messiah, he actually has compiled some information that lets us know that why Kofi should be in the conversation for a GOAT.
Statistically speaking,
all right,
Say that again?
15 total championships.
Okay.
4-time IC champion, 3-time US champion, 4-time WWE Raw Tag Champion, 3-time SmackDown Tag Team, and 1-time World Tag Team Champion.
Okay.
Holds the record with New Day for the longest reign for any tag team title.
It's over 500 days.
An individual record for cumulative days spent as WWE and Raw Tag Team Champ. Also, the most combined days spent as a tag team champ.
Let him know.
He is literally the greatest thing in the WWE from a championship standpoint at this point, living, walking, and breathing. 11 years.
And he's only 37 years old.
So this man hasn't even cracked 40.
Not sniffing 40.
Only wrestled in the E.
Only.
He's homegrown.
This is homemade.
He might be your only homegrown superstar to not be there that long and never be world champion.
And they single-handedly, non-verbally reenacted the Freebird rule with the New Day.
Right.
They did.
If I'm not mistaken, did he and Everborn catch the championship?
They did.
Yeah, so that was the world championship,
That was
right?
the world. The world, that was the world.
So
that was with CM Punk. His world was with CM Punk.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
His world was with CM Punk.
Boston native, attended Boston College.
Yep.
Actually, I'll never forget there was two funny moments with him. One when he was going up against Randy Orton, and
he was with DX.
Huh?
The time he was out in the ring with DX, and they noticed how he lost his accent.
No, well, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that one. But the race car shit, when Randy was being sponsored by some race car company or like somehow he had his own race car, and Kofi came out there with a big ass can of orange paint and just fucked the whole car up, and Randy just went ape shit. But when he came out there and like literally from 1 week he was from Kingston, Jamaica, to the next week, Triple H,
Hunter called him out.
Hey, what happened to your accent?
Right.
The feud with Randy Orton made him and broke him because it showed his personality. It showed he could turn up a notch. It gave him an opportunity to be aggressive in the ring, and then we saw what else happened, and that's kind of where the Kofi Kingston rise to prominence as a solo star kind of
went away.
It tapered off.
And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
It is, and that's one of the reasons I don't necessarily fuck with Random Orton as much as everybody else does.
Random
Orton.
I mean,
because they book him randomly.
We saw the rise of Kofi Kingston at Madison Square Garden when he put Randy through a table with the boom drop off a rail in the crowd.
Yes.
We knew we were seeing the ascension of a star, and we should have seen this man hold gold right then. There should have been no reason why Kofi Kingston should not have been crowned the champion of the company and given the strap. He was not.
There was another time on Monday Night Raw, I believe it was when I looked at it, I think it was 2014, where he actually beat Randy coming out of a commercial break with a clean SOS. Not the SOS. What's the flip shit that he does?
That is the SOS.
That's
Is
SOS.
it? Okay, yeah. So he hit him with the SOS for a clean 1, 2, 3, and then Randy beats the shit out of him after the match. Michael Cole emphasized the fact that he beat the champion, and he pinned the champion clean in the middle of the ring. But it was the next week completely forgotten about. And in fact, I believe that was the precursor to the New Day.
That was the reason why. That was the reason why, because they were already going to do the New Day. Him and Big E had been teaming together for a bit, and Xavier Woods came out and invited them to join him. And they were talking about how they overlooked them so much. And that's where they just took off. That was a meteoric run for the New Day. Kofi Kingston still should have been a singles wrestler. We may see it. I don't know.
I think collectively they still are singles wrestlers. I just think that they have a nice formula for the tag team. Because, like, Big E and Xavier is one chemistry. Big E and Kofi is one chemistry, and then Kofi and Xavier is another chemistry. So like you have like just like the Freebirds, you have different combinations for different styles that you want to present on TV. And I'm not saying I'm not saying they're the ones that call it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were the ones who called that. But yes, by all means, that is a valid argument for a GOAT talk. What you got, Suave?
The New Day as a group is the most entertaining, underutilized, over group that creative has nothing for. They have literally been throwing pancakes in the crowd from catering for a year. No origin story on them carrying pancakes. They just decided to come out with pancakes. They ain't put out no pancake mix. They stopped pouring cereal out. They just throwing pancakes in the crowd.
All I remember is Big E one day just randomly saying pancakes in the promo, and the next week they came out with trays of pancakes.
When was the last time you saw the New Day with a storyline?
When they were fighting the Usos.
The last time they had a storyline was probably about 2015, and they were heels. And they
were fighting the Usos.
Who they drag out on Raw to the middle of the stage? Cena?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
They drug him out like they were the NWO.
But they're still over 4 years later. They haven't had any decent storylines to just give them more airtime. They just come out and get over. They come out and be entertaining and nothing else.
Well, that was the goal. The goal was for them to... No, hold on. The goal was for them to be a focal point of WWE programming. Who is the most over group right now in WWE?
Most over group?
McMahon's.
Yeah, true.
Facts.
New Day is probably one of the most organic things you've seen throughout the years.
But it's probably the only group that they have in WWE right now that actually means anything. Like you have, because Usos are a tag team. The only thing separating the New Day from a faction is a manager.
Technically Xavier Woods doubles as one.
But he wrestles, which makes it part of a tag team. It's like the Freebirds. Freebirds, you really can't call them a faction because they didn't have a manager. They're just a tag team.
When you add all the people together, they end up being a faction because there's Buddy Roberts,
Michael Hayes, and Bam
Bam, Jimmy Jam. Hey man, Jimmy Garvin is as much of a Freebird as anybody else.
What about Bad Street?
What about him?
Do you count him too?
Do you?
No.
What do you do? Drive a car?
Carry the bags?
Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker.
And then what's Rocky? When Rocky was the roadie,
it was a couple of them.
Yeah.
So with the New Day, it's strange because they haven't.
Shout out to Rocky King.
Oh, he's coming up later on in this episode.
Just in case. He's
trying to make sure he gets in there.
Yeah, he's coming up.
To tell it all off, Kofi Kingston, hands down, should be considered as one of the greats, if not the greatest of all time, just based on his track record for doing it all that he's done in an 11-year period and not getting the recognition that he needs. In the same vein as Chris Jericho, in the same vein as any other great that you would put out there, Kofi Kingston definitely stands up.
So check this out. Shout out to Ron Murray one more time sending this question. He said, if Kofi becomes champion, is he the greatest African American in-ring performer ever?
No.
Who better?
Name him.
Who better?
Who better than Kofi?
You just named off a resume that's second to none right now, black, white, or other.
Who better than Canyon?
No one.
Who's better than Kofi?
Who better than Kofi?
Booker T. Huffman.
Name off his resume.
Booker T.
Is that another?
Booker T. Huffman is 35 championships total.
Is the
most
best
decorated WCW wrestler ever with 21 championships.
Okay, 1 and 2.
More than the Freebirds, more than the Road Warriors, more than the Von Erichs, more than Nate.
That guy with his
King
big.
Booker.
He did that.
He's the first African American to hold the TV championship. Give it up. Give it up to him. He did it 6 times. 11-time tag team champion and 10 of them with Harlem Heat.
Booker T wasn't even on my radar, but he's going to be on part of this conversation later on today.
Come on.
He did that.
Come on.
He did that because I had to really think about it. Like,
who better? Yeah,
who better?
Good job.
Booker T, hands down, is in my opinion, the greatest African American wrestler that we have seen in this lifetime. He has the stats to prove it. He is possibly, from a standpoint of wrestling and excitement, he's not better than Kofi. But on paper,
I don't know, because his 98. I'll put Booker T's 98
WCW
against,
Booker.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you had
television title Booker T. I'll put up against anybody.
And 1 year you had television title, you had world title, and you also had Midnight, and you also had General. G.I. Bro?
Yeah,
G.I. Bro.
I'm not doing now. G.I. Bro finna get him some bread, but I'm not finna put that on him.
Hey, I'm gonna put that on him because without that happening, he doesn't get this bread.
He did G.I. Bro before WCW though. He just had never done it on television.
Yeah. But he did it on TV at a high level. Because
did he do it in like some regional promotion? Like I want to say Smoky Mountain, but I know it's not.
I would probably say it was Shawn Michaels thing. I'd have to look it up, but I'd probably say it was Shawn Michaels down in San Antonio.
No. I mean, like G.I. Bro actually like is right there with Ebony Express.
Like back in the day, far back,
pre WCW.
It's a possibility because it's been it's his property. Like there's nobody that can stake claim to it other than him. But yeah, Booker T.
That is a hell of an answer in a crunch time situation. Hey, I salute you, sir.
I did the research.
You earned your paper, player.
Booker T's one. Are we putting Kofi at 2 or do we have somebody else?
Kofi deserved the GOAT talk, but he would definitely be the number 2 because there's no.
Because the question was specific.
There can't be anybody else. I mean, everybody else that you could talk about, like.
It was in-ring performer.
We can talk, about it, but they're only going to be regional. The only other person that would be in this conversation, and I hate to say this, Ron Killings.
Yeah.
R-Truth.
That was the next
in-ring performer.
you brought him up. Yeah,
but see, that's in-ring performer versus.
And the only reason he makes this conversation is because he's the first black NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
He is not, but we're gonna talk about that.
No, he is.
He is not, but we're gonna talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Who is? Enlighten us.
Bobo Brazil.
NWA?
Bobo Brazil is the first NWA champion. They don't recognize it because he actually beat Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. It was a conflict on it. So when they went back, the NWA does not recognize it, but he beat Buddy Rogers. Straight up and down.
That is insight you can only get during the Black History Month program of the
This is why
if we gonna educate, we're going to educate. BHM.
We ain't even jumped into the mixtape segment yet, and we out here changing lives.
You need to know.
We cannot call this a mixtape today simply because we released an actual mixtape today. Again, we are the only pro wrestling we might be the only podcast, but I'm going to say pro wrestling just for the sake of conversation, the only pro wrestling podcast to ever release a mixtape with their podcast. Well, and we just happen to be all three be African American.
We're forefathers.
Welcome to history, Dave. You're welcome.
You're part of this history.
We're forefathers. You should respect us.
We are the architects.
Build a monument to our glory.
Pioneers.
Bask
in the glory with your bitch ass.
Oh, 1962. Good.
Yeah.
The Petty Messiah wins again.
Hey, TPM.
I'm out here trying to teach these fools.
He came loaded for war.
Wow.
I'm out here.
I love it.
Now here's the problem. Ron Killings is amazing. He is the first recognized NWA champion that is African American. Well, but he is not the first.
Let me clarify from what Ron sent me. His question was about in-ring performers. So if we're just taking the stats off.
Yeah, we
currently in-ring.
Ever. We're talking ever.
I mean, we already got 1 and 2, Booker T and Kofi. There's no other conversation that needs to be had.
So, yeah. We can do a makeshift top 5.
Are we doing
doesn't matter.
Non-mixed? Or are we doing just...
No,
because we have to.
That conversation gets very sketchy because
it gets very dicey.
Look at my skin tone. I'm easily the lightest in the room.
Right, but that's the thing. It's an actual stat. Like that's a stat. When we look at the stats of it, they're gonna look at that. It's like looking at Barack Obama.
The guy in question for you has declared himself biracial, so I don't know how we do that.
Correct.
He has it.
He has.
He has. Okay.
He declared himself. He Tiger Woods himself.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah.
Carblazing his ass.
Yeah.
Well,
when he started doing movies, he
well, I guess he had to. I mean, you gotta get paid.
You gotta protect.
Fam,
you gotta protect the bag. If
Come on,
when
man.
it's something
Secure the
like
bag.
that, you have to celebrate.
The family that you're a part of, fam, I can't even get
I was going to say, the heritage that he has,
kinda
there's
had to.
absolutely no reason for him to not to do that.
It's dual sided.
Right.
That side of the family is more
He has to
famous
celebrate
for
both sides of
wrestling.
his
One
heritage.
last,
Yeah.
well, no, I mean, from his actual grandfather and his uncles, like you got two sides of a family that are not black.
He gets GOAT status just for that.
That family gets GOAT status for
Of
that.
course, the family gets GOAT status, but he, as a performer, he gets all-time quarterback status.
He's like, yeah.
He just gets GOAT status. There's no reason to try to put him on the list because he is his own list.
Yeah. I mean, hold on, let's table it. So if you're not
To be
realizing,
honest, it's like creating a superhuman.
I was about to say that. So we're talking
He's
about
a fucking Avenger if we're going to be honest about
we
it.
talking about The Rock. So if you're not paying attention, we talking about Dwayne Johnson. We talking about The Rock.
The pencil
First and
pushers
foremost,
know. It's
his
the casual
father,
fan who don't fucking know.
his father is Soul Man Rocky Johnson, who
He's the
is
truth.
part of one of the most identifiable African American tag teams that you've seen in the past.
Because you
Not
can't,
to mention
you can't
one
walk
half
by
of the
them.
first black WWF tag team champion.
Exactly.
That's 3 W's and 1 F.
Right.
One F. So his father is Soul Man Rocky Johnson. His mother is the daughter of High Chief Peter Maivia, which makes his grandfather High Chief Peter Maivia,
I
who
like how
is
you did
blood
that.
brothers with Afa and Sika.
Blood and air quotes.
Yeah. Yeah. Blood brothers with Afa and Sika, also known as,
The Wild Samoans.
who are the father of
Roman Reigns, Rosie, who else?
Rikishi,
Umaga.
Umaga. Pretty much any Samoan that is not Samoa Joe
Not from Detroit.
or related to Jimmy Superfly Snooker, or it's not from Detroit.
Right.
They are in this family. It is the biggest
Nah,
wrestling
fuck that.
family.
One of them might have went on a pilgrimage.
The NOIE family.
Yes.
And so Rock is tied into the NOIE family. He is a Maivia. He is Soul Man Rocky Johnson's baby boy. This man is a progeny of all things wrestling. And for him to not, we can't just say, oh, he's the first black champion or he's this, because quite frankly, he's not. I mean, he's multiracial, which we have to acknowledge that.
I mean, by the same token, they
you
try
mix
to
African American and Samoan, you get a superhero.
Well, they try to do that to Pedro
Samoan
Morales as well. And rest in peace to Pedro Morales, who we just lost last week. But they try to do that to him as well. They try to put him in the box of black, but he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah. And I mean, in semantics, there's semantics. It'll be people that listen to this.
If The Rock had ever crept off with Serena Williams, you might have had like the Hulk born.
Yeah, Scar. If you read comics, they would have had Scar, and he'd have been amazing.
Or like would he have been Red Hulk?
No. That was his step pops. Oh, like that was his father-in-law.
There you go.
Like, but with Rock is an anomaly in itself. Like, if you had to put Rock on that list, then by default, Rock becomes number one in ring.
Rock is a list. He's
By himself.
by himself. He is a list.
And his career, by comparison, is short as shit.
Yeah, when you really look at it, he didn't wrestle that long.
Like his debut was
96.
96.
96 to
Scorpion King was with him.
And that's in the E. That's just in the E. So like he had like 2 years in Memphis before that.
So 94.
Maybe 94.
So 94 to 2002, 3.
And then a gap to like 2005.
Yeah, he's doing movies. Once you
doing
get
movies.
to 2002, 2003, he's doing movies.
Because we had Cacao Rock.
Cacao.
2001 is when he did The Mummy Returns.
And that was a cameo spot. So 2001 corresponds with WrestleMania X7.
Which is pretty much the catapult to when he became Dwayne Johnson.
Right. So then he gets the Hogan match at X8.
Mm-hmm.
At 19 is his finally gets his win over Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
By 20 he's coming in doing
And Stone
spots.
Cold and Rock are both gone by then.
Yeah, they're both gone. So Rock is coming in doing spots with Mick Foley at 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then 21 he's not wrestling.
So that's 04, 05. Because
He was out. He was out in like 05, 06.
He was,
and that was it. And it took him almost 10 to come
I
back.
want to say 11 was when he came back.
It took Cena clout chasing.
Yep.
Yeah. And Cena had. So when we look at that, that's how important Rock is to the business. He single-handedly changed the way a lot of people did their promos.
Did we just have a double goat talk?
We shouldn't have.
We
did.
We had a severe goat talk. But it ties into what we're talking about. There are a lot of tremendous African American wrestlers that never got any attention.
True that. Don't worry. Don't worry. We going.
That's why we're here.
We're here to fix that.
That's why we're here.
Don't even sweat it.
We gonna talk about that. All that there.
What we got to do? We checked everything off?
So hold
NXT.
on. No, not yet. So we just go through these body bags real quick. So we gave Joe the body bag for the initial body bag.
So Joe got the first one. Ronda
got the fatality, the flawless victory.
Ice and Advil.
Ice and Advil, bitch.
Oh, Ice and Advil was number 2. That was the second one.
Yep.
She's the second recipient.
Third one.
The third one would have been Kofi last week.
But
then we had the flawless victory.
But
then we also had the Usos,
who decided to square up with the
police in Detroit,
and then talk about it. Talk about it.
At the end of the promo with the words, "We gonna square up."
So your third winner of a body bag award. Shout out to Jimmy and Jay,
the Usos.
Say Us. Y'all done won an award, fam.
Square up.
Square up.
They won this.
Hey, y'all don't want this award? Hey, square up.
Square up.
So, and now we have this week's body bag award because all of WWE television that we count towards this award has happened.
That's right.
So this week's body bag award winner
goes to,
for his impromptu description of a publicity stunt by Jussie to keep Empire relevant.
Shouts out to Big E of the New Day.
New Day?
Who said, this man said, Empire, and we all know they done some crazy things to stay on the air.
To keep that show relevant. I didn't really think about the
that was a paraphrase. That was not a direct quote.
I really did not think about the fact that this was a publicity stunt to keep that show relevant, and that is absolutely breathtaking to me in 2019.
It was an instant body bag too because of how bad Jussie bodied himself, and the fact that they use pop culture reference that nobody wants to touch, and they touched it in a very tasteful manner. And everybody knew who listened within an earshot what the fuck he was talking about.
Oh, the crowd ate that up.
Ooh. 3.
We're looking for 3.
We're looking for 3.
Looking for 3. Yeah. And then the way Big E smiled and giggled the way he got away with it because he did it in Gorilla, which means he did it in front of who?
Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
I like it. I think it's a great idea.
Hey, asshole.
What?
So this week's body bag award goes to Big
E of the New Day.
And completely the New Day, who have cut some fantastic backstage vignettes and promos over the last week, hyping up Kofi's rise to prominence.
Listen to all those who care. Fuck with our body bag award if you want to. We're coming for you. Know that.
I ain't gonna argue with the man.
Jesus Christ.
That was ominous. You put some gunshots and gangster music with that?
God.
Gunshots and gangster music. Gangster music is gonna be what's popping next.
Oh.
So, do we want to go through the dark cloud or do we want to go through the black cloud?
What's the difference?
I'm glad you asked.
Great question.
Funny you should ask that question.
The black cloud would be the fun part of this episode.
First of all, for those of you who have taken a break and are coming back to listen to this right now, this is the meat and potatoes of our Black History Month program.
The crux
on the Broken Pencil Booking Company podcast.
Before we do anything else,
this is why we're here.
Hit them with the hashtag Suave. Quiz on you next episode, Petty Messiah.
Broken Pencil Logic.
That's one.
Folk Life Shouty.
It's
with the shit.
Yeah, come on.
Mark my words.
Bring it.
I always get them. See, Broken Pencil Logic.
That's one.
With the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Folk Life Shouty. Mm-hmm. Mark my words.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I going blank right now?
Because he hit you with a Flavor Flav.
Call it 10. Call it 10.
We're looking for 3.
We're looking for 3. We're looking for 3.
Mark my words. Broken Pencil Logic. Fuck Life Shorty. With the shit. And
you can't write this.
You can't write this.
Jesus Christ.
That was the OG. That's the first. That's the reason why that's the very first hashtag.
It's the one I use the least online.
It's the very first one.
I
as of last week,
but that's
fuck the casual fan.
Yeah, that's mine. That's the sixth amendment. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and fuck the casual fan. Good try, Terry.
That's a hashtag too.
You some of a
bitch.
Some of a bitch.
So I guess with that segue, we'll go to the dark cloud.
So look, we got mixtape set up. Let's not even play with these people. We got mixtape set up.
Two of them.
Two
hot boys.
So
really three if you want to count this last one. This last one is a long.
Truthfully,
but that's
so we have individual mixtapes where we will have top fives of the top 5 African American performers ever. Our GOATs. Our top 5 GOATs each.
We are drafting them though.
I don't like the term draft.
We're hand selecting.
Thank you. We are hand selecting our GOATs.
We ain't picking shit. It's 2019.
Jesus
We're picking
Christ,
a motherfucking thing.
Pick your goddamn teeth up.
Pick your nose, bitch.
Pick your sides with your combo, you motherfucker.
So we're not gonna pick out the afros in solidarity.
Nope.
Braid my
we're
shit
gonna
down.
comb them.
Nappy is beautiful.
Braid my shit down.
Nappy makes me happy, bitch.
Cornrows.
You Negroes wouldn't have survived the 70s.
Whoa.
Yeah, take that.
I'm an 80s
I'll
baby
fight
and
back.
I'm proud of it.
I'm not Wood. I'm not gonna stand down.
I had Nintendo. Hey, you mean?
Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Hey, you mean? Don't disrespect me. I'm a veteran of blackness.
Blackness.
Run it, dog. Run
my
it.
shirt is black.
So look, we each doing a top 5 of our GOAT performers of the African American descent.
Wow.
We're also going to bring you a unified list. Are we doing 5 or 10 on this?
5. We're going 5. We're just
we're doing a top 5
because I think if we go more than 5, we're putting too much shine on the wrong shit.
I got you.
And the whole reason for doing this one. For this particular one is what's happening on Monday Night Raw next week that we don't appreciate.
So look, we're getting ready to shine a light on a dark patch of wrestling. Like
we're going dark.
Yeah, we're going 0 dark 30. We grew up loving wrestling. Some of the things that happened behind the scenes we were not aware of, but we are men of a certain age. Shameless plug.
Hashtag MOACA. That is for real.
For real. And we are of an understanding that now we know certain things went on that weren't cool. So we'll be doing a top 5 racist list. Top 5 active, past, present, future, dead, alive, whatever. If there are racists in wrestling, they're gonna be on this list, and we're gonna get the top 5.
Let's start that right now. We'll come back with the good shit after this. Let's get this out the way right now.
Let's go. Number 1, Bill Watts.
Cowboy Bill Watts, Mid-South Wrestling, University of Oklahoma alum, also Universal Wrestling Federation, who was the word on the street is the reason why UWF did not go nationwide was because in the middle of the said push to go nationwide, he was caught having an affair with a valet from his organization known as Dark Journey. And in that divorce, his wife was awarded, I believe, a substantial settlement. If not, he was told to divest the UWF, in which it was dissolved by Jim Crockett Promotions. So all of the UWF talent ended up going to the NWA / WCW on behalf of Jim Crockett Promotions, which is why they end up on the Superstation and not on TV stations across the country on independent programming with Bill Watts as the figurehead. So UWF was lasted maybe a year and a half because of this guy. But in the meantime, bringing it back to home, he brought us the Junkyard Dog. He also brought us the Big Cat Ernie Ladd. Big Cat Ernie Ladd was a football player. For the I believe he played for the Rams. It was Rams or Chargers. He was on the West Coast is where he played.
A little bit before my time.
Okay,
might want to Google that.
Yeah, I might. But either way, he played on the West Coast. But I know he went to college at Grambling, HBCU.
True that.
And in the off seasons, he would actually come wrestle. He was he had a pencil for Bill Watts for a long time, and was responsible for bringing in the JYD. And there was a conversation out that many people have chronicled that has been had where JYD was trying to make moves and head to the north, i.e. Vince McMahon territory, Vince J. McMahon at the time. And Bill Watts was quoted as saying, that going nowhere.
And the shit that really hit the fan with him was when he was executive vice president of WCW back in 1992, 1993. Now, this is where shit gets hot. The circumstances of Watts' departure in 1993 are controversial. Prior to 1992, he had given an interview to a wrestling newsletter. Most notably, Watts had commented on Lester Maddox, a restaurant owner and future governor of Georgia, who was told he had to serve black people but instead closed down his business. Watts felt Maddox stood up for what he believed in and acted accordingly. He also made several other controversial statements pertaining to race and sexual orientation. A whole bunch of N's and a whole bunch of F's used in a wrestling interview. And this happened during his tenure as executive vice president of WCW. Later, Mark Madden, and yes, the same Mark Madden who was a fixture of Nitro during the waning days of WCW, actually brought the interview to the attention of Hank Aaron, himself a vice president of the Turner organization with the Atlanta Braves, who then pushed for Watts' removal. While Madden takes credit for Watts getting fired, Watts himself disputes the account, saying he was not fired for the comments, but quit his position out of frustration over backstabbing by Bill Shaw and XYZ. So, yeah, that guy.
That's a good number one. Run it down. Number two. Let's just move through this fucking list.
So who got number two? Who you got? You got one? We got a whole list here.
Well, I mean, I got a good one.
Who you feel like should be number two? Do what you do.
The evidence I have for this one, Dick Murdoch. It doesn't get any better than being a Klansman, a card-carrying member of the Ku Klux Klan, the White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
Well,
who better than that?
Drive a car.
Hell, Bill Duke. Hell, nah.
Wait.
Bill Duke ain't got no wrestling boots.
I know. I'm just saying, who better? Bill Duke.
Bill Duke,
man.
What was his other name? Like the Raging Redneck or whatever the fuck?
Captain Redneck.
Captain Redneck. Captain Redneck. Fuck
and this is mine, and I'm definitely trying to find out more on that one. Let's see. Who was that one? Number 9.
Oh, that's an easy. Jesse Ventura?
There you go.
Are you kidding me?
Jesse Ventura.
Listen, I didn't know Jesse Ventura was going to be so high on the list.
Listen, first of all,
eat fam.
Jesse Ventura.
Do what you do. Another Jesse.
So let's start with the obvious. He was calling Tito Santana Chico for the longest. Why would you call a Mexican Chico for GP? Like, if there's an inside joke there, let us know. But you did it for the entire time he was on WWE television, called him Chico. He referred to Coco Beware on WWE TV as buckwheat.
That's the one that gets in.
That's the one.
The Chico shit, I don't know, but because Razor Ramon went years calling people Chico. But the Coco Beware
subsequently,
line,
that was going to be my opening.
That man was in character.
You can't just call somebody buckwheat family.
Yeah, you just don't do that, man. Well, there was something else that he did too. But those two I remember like yesterday.
I don't doubt you.
That was number 3, Jesse Ventura.
Number 4. Who you got? We got draft picks here.
I'm gonna say it because it was founded and I'm still a little sore. And before I say it, shout out to the Velveteen Dream.
Don't you refer to him by his character name? You refer to him by his
by the hashtag.
Later.
No, by the hashtag.
You refer to him by his hashtag.
Good try, Terry. I grew up, everything about wrestling as a whole was instilled by a guy who basically punched me right in my childhood, and everybody right in their childhood, by literally having live footage of him discussing African Americans in the most derogatory way ever. And to see him, even though Mean Gene Oakland died, I'm sure y'all could have found somebody else to talk about him.
I ain't gonna lie, he was the most qualified to have that particular conversation.
Mainly because everybody else has already passed on.
Exactly. And the one other person you would have brought in was on this list.
Oh, he's on the list as well. So right. This is a hard conversation for me to have because this is somebody I grew up literally idolizing. I had like
It ain't that hard for me.
When I say hard,
but I'll tell you why.
Let me say hard like this. Like I grew up with a hard ass plastic model that stood almost 3 feet tall, standing in the corner in my bedroom of this guy.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like this is one of the reasons why I would pay attention to it. Also, one of the reasons why most people in high school, when I was in high school, even looked at wrestling at an all-time high to keep WCW on top, and to find out that he did not have a kind view of African Americans at all, one that should be respected. You know, it was a shot in the face. So, you know, straight up and down, hey, fuck you too.
I absolutely respect your point of view on that. My older brother let me in on the fact that he was a snitch back in the 90s with the whole finger pointing at Vince McMahon during the steroid trial.
Hey, fam, man, you don't ride on your boys, man. Come on.
No, not just your boy. He was the main offender. He was the reason why the shit happened.
Yeah.
Right. So once I got that, and snitches have a certain, we view them under a certain microscope magnifying glass in my family.
Yeah.
We look at snitches a certain way. So once I was given that information, it was pretty much fuck Hulk Hogan from then on. I just found other people to believe in or other people to like. But I do understand what you were saying, because I know a lot of people who just, they mark out for Hulk Hogan even to this day. None of that matters to them because Hulk Hogan was such an integral part of their childhood. For me, fuck that guy. He was a snitch.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he's here, cool. I'll look at him. Fine, great. Now I know you're a snitch and a bigot.
Fuck out of here,
like, fuck out of here, fam. Good draw, Terry.
Like, come on, man.
Beat your feet, bitch.
Shouts out to the Dream for that.
Savage
hashtag.
Was right about you the whole fucking time.
The whole time.
So was Bobby Heenan.
That's how I feel. Bobby Heenan and Randy Savage was right about you the whole fucking time.
Some shit on Ice Man King Parsons.
Well, no, we're gonna get to that.
Oh, okay.
We got a whole.
We're
not putting him on this list.
Hey, strap on your seatbelt. We driving this car.
All right, my bad.
You know,
hey, let your goddamn window up. I got this AC
don't want him to be on this list at all.
Fucking shit up, man.
Hold up.
All right.
Number 5.
Take them shits out.
Number 5. I'm gonna put 2 in 1. I'm gonna put 2 in 1 only because of the source.
You gonna make them share space?
Yeah,
as they should.
As they should. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going with this.
Go ahead. Handle your business.
Half of the original 4 Horsemen. Ole Anderson and the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Shit.
And they don't fuck with each other either, so that's gonna be a tumultuous car ride.
Fam, first of all, these clowns running roughshod over the territory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you had this came courtesy of Teddy Long, from a first-hand account. And
Teddy Long started all this shit. So if you want to know where we got all this piss and vinegar
why
from,
this happened,
from fucking Teddy Long.
And let's be honest.
Do-rag shouty.
And let's be honest. If this shit didn't hold any merit, there would be lawsuits for libel and or slander. There were neither. So let's be clear about that before we go ahead and before you decide to come step to us on some bullshit from the mouth of Teddy Long. Kayfabe Commentaries actually did an interview.
Make the news, we just report it.
Yeah, that's all we do. Kayfabe Commentaries did an interview, a shooting interview with Teddy Long back in 2016 that came to light. And Teddy Long was talking about some of his experiences, and one of them was in, of all places in the 80s, Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, let's talk about Tennessee real quick. The topography of Tennessee, population-wise, you have Memphis, Nashville, and Knoxville, roughly about 600 miles apart. In the middle, you have Nashville, and you have Memphis on the west side, Knoxville on the east side.
Hi to both Jerrys, Lawler and Jarrett.
Oh, yeah.
And something tells me they might be on the list. I don't know. At any rate, Knoxville, I can tell you from me visiting in the late 90s and also in the mid 2000s that Knoxville wasn't the place for us in the 80s. And at one point, before Memphis had its population boom, Knoxville was the most populated city in the state of Tennessee. And if you go back and look at some of the territory days when they would actually visit Knoxville, you can look at the crowd and tell that Knoxville was not heavily populated with African Americans. Meanwhile, Teddy Long was backstage. And apparently some people were knocking at the door looking for him that said that they were sent there by him. Your boy Dr. Richard M, comes up to Teddy Long and says, "Hey, N, you like working here?"
You like working here.
And among other things that have been talked about, but that one was the one that stuck out with me, which put him on the list, is because if a man that you are around more than anybody else in multiple organizations, you have no love or disdain or no love for, or no regard for as a fellow human being, that inherently makes you not just a racist, but a bad human being, especially if the person has a different skin tone than yours, or comes from a different ethnic background or even cultural background or diversity than what you have. If you were the guy that had lived in the biggest house in the biggest side of town with the biggest cars and the most women, and you can't appreciate someone that's helping you out. In fact, I go on record on TV. They have this on WWE Network. Him talking to Rocky King like a boy. You don't even deserve to walk in the shoe or in the area that I walk in. You should be shining my shoes.
If you get an opportunity to go back and check out, this should be right before Halloween Havoc 1992. This ran rampant in WCW. You had Harley Race cutting a promo on behalf of Lex Luger onto Ron Simmons. This is when Ron Simmons first started his face turn and solo run towards the World Heavyweight Championship, and alluded to a lot of those same things to the effect, you should be carrying my bags. I believe actually referred to him as boy, and it was a racially charged storyline.
Yeah,
I mean it's
been done in the WWE too when it was the WWF.
Well, that's
Owen Hart called Jose Lothario a dirty Mexican on King of the Ring '96.
Yeah, Don Morocco called Pedro Morales a Mexican pepper belly.
Just true. Triple H told Booker T, "You people, or your kind,"
right,
during a promo.
Vince McMahon dropped the N-bomb on Monday Night Raw.
Oh yeah, in front of Booker T to John Cena. There is a history. What we're saying, there's a history of this type of attitude and action toward African American people.
Hold on, let me land that plane. Ole Anderson in the ring, while he's an off-camera official, is in the ring story, wrestling. Yeah. He actually tells Teddy Long in the middle of a match in front of fans.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember hearing that story.
Drops an N-bomb.
I remember hearing that story. Yes.
I'm sure the footage is on the network. I'm sure it's there. Like, if you pay attention, I mean,
there's no way
no one has.
They edited that.
No one has any good stories about Ole Anderson at all. Any human being. In fact, I mean,
regardless of racial ethnicity, everyone refers to Ole Anderson as a miserable old fart.
Yeah.
Nah, I haven't seen any good talk of him.
Yeah, I don't hear anyone talk well of him.
We're in a society now where sensitivity can be at an all-time high.
Right.
For a great deal of things. The reason why this list has been made is to bring light to the fact that it is not easy to be, one, African American, two, a wrestler in any territory. It wasn't in the past, and it's definitely not now. I think it may have gotten a little better over time, but back in the day, it was horrible. And any of the wrestlers have said this. They go on record as saying it was not easy to do.
Let me say this. The only reason why I even put Flair on the list is because to many in this room, Flair is regarded as a GOAT. There is valid GOAT talk to why he should be in anybody's GOAT conversation outside of the things that we're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
With his 70th birthday coming up and his near-death experience a couple times in the last few years, how can we forgive things that no one even recognized even existed? Is it something that we need to bring up? Not saying us, because we're doing it. So I'm not apologizing for anything. We're doing this unapologetically. We're being ourselves.
Right.
We got questions, and again, suckers got to know, suckers needs to know. Do we as a whole bring light to this situation? Do we as a whole recognize this situation, or do we just sweep it under the rug like we have been and just say forget it? Or do we expect the same thing that we're trying to get a good criteria, which is an apology through effort? Because the only effort that he's ever given that we've seen is pandering to our community, i.e. the Atlanta Falcons, Julio Jones, i.e. Migos, by clearing the ability to use his name and taking him on tour for TV appearances and whatnot and concerts.
Well, there's money made to be made through appropriation in that capacity.
He's a front runner.
Literally, when it comes down to that, to Flair, everybody kind of latched on to him because he was a symbol of the decadence and the opulence of hip hop in itself.
He's responsible for more rap content than any other wrestler ever.
Exactly. He's quotable.
Including Good Try Terry.
Including. When we look at that, he's more quotable in hip hop than Muhammad Ali. And Muhammad Ali was the biggest thing for black entertainment and sports at any given time.
And to that token, to that note, look at our mixtape that we dropped, the Broken Pencil Booking Company Season 1 mixtape that has not one, but 2 songs dedicated to that man.
Yeah. He is as much of a part of a lot of people's culture. He is as much of a part of wrestling for anyone who is a wrestling fan, regardless of race.
And this is where I'm going to ask the question. I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm just asking a real question. Do you, at some point, separate Ric Flair, the character, from Richard Fleur, the person?
I asked that same question, and I counter your question with this. And this is going to go super dark. Do we ever separate the wrestler that is the Rabbit Wolverine and the individual who did the acts that he did?
With what you know about CTE, how much do you look into that?
Do you forgive CTE for what happened, for what that man did to his family?
I can't answer that. I don't know.
And that's the same way.
The ultimate judgment, and we're not trying to get religious, the ultimate judgment with that one is going to end up with the Most High.
Right.
Because that's a crime against the Most High to do that to your family, regardless of what your mental condition was.
And there's a ton of people walking around with CTE that haven't done those things.
I don't know enough about CTE and how severe his was and what CTE does to the brain.
They said his brain looked like that of an 80-year-old man.
I know plenty of 80-year-old men that don't participate in those actions. So, and
that part.
Were they juicing, though?
Hey, we don't know.
We don't know. We really don't know.
So when we ask that question, we can't really ask those questions of how can we separate or do we separate. These are things that people ultimately can change their walks of life and their opinions and their outlooks. That won't change their actions, but it will change the way that they view and the way that they move now. For all we know, Ric Flair could have easily apologized for all these things.
He could be remorseful for it now, and just the fact that it's coming out at this point in this stage of his life, he may not even want to have to address it if it's something he's already apologized for. But he doesn't have that luxury either.
Yeah, I mean, none of us do. The problem with being black in America is that we admittedly can be sensitive about a lot of things, and admittedly we hold people to a different standard than we hold ourselves to, and that can be an issue. Because if we didn't hold ourselves to such a subpar standard in some capacities, people wouldn't feel the need to be able to disrespect us. Take it to an old school time frame. These are people who didn't hold themselves to a lower standard. These are people who carried themselves as men and got called boys. These are people who tried to go into an arena full of people who did not look like them and entertain them. They chose this as a life, and they weren't able to do it as freely as anything that people could do now. They were oppressed heavily. They never got to the pinnacle in a lot of these situations. For us to talk about Ron Killings as the first NWA champion as a black man, and I believe that's in 2002. The NWA had been along how long before that? Before
over 100 years.
1905.
And 2002 was the first time.
Yeah.
So when we look at that, that's a problem.
Right.
Is it changing? I believe the WWE, even though they have some really dark moments, they've tried to do some things to kind of make sure that, hey, we don't condone this type of action and these attitudes now.
Well, this is a perfect segue because we'll come back and then we're gonna go to the fun part of this shit.
Yeah.
So it's the irony of a card carrying member of the Ku Klux Klan tag teaming with Dusty Rhodes.
And they're best friends.
Who was known to be the most soulful blue-eyed man in the history of the business.
With a son who married an African-American woman.
Say that.
Yeah,
that.
I gotta say that.
Who's also half Puerto Rican himself.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's the reason why
Cody's
he doesn't
half Puerto Rican.
Oh, Cody. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So technically,
no. We cannot go there.
Are we gonna go with genealogy? Are we about to have this conversation?
No, we're not.
We're not doing the ancestry.com on Cody.
Yeah, this is not the Easter episode. We can't.
Fam. And on the 8th day.
Right. Do you have any other mentions that you want to do? Or are we good on this?
I mean, nah, I'm good.
I mean, there's always another day. We can always find another day.
We need to do more. We need to do a lot more research.
I agree.
I feel like that's a whole walking, ongoing conversation that can be had.
If you have someone you would like to bring to our attention,
we sure gonna listen to you.
You can send it to us at brokenpencilbc@gmail.com, brokenpencilbc on Twitter, Facebook, and the Gram, and we will analyze your information and take it into account.
And to shout out one of the former partners of Cowboy Bill Watts, PJ McGuire, my guy Pete. What up, man? Hope you listening to this. And we just go to the fun part of this shit, man.
And much like Busta Rhymes when he was beefing with Ja Rule, and now we get back to having fun again.
I just heard Hail Mary just drop in my head.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, man. You got your 5. I got my 5. You got your 5.
I tell you
I gave
what,
2 of my 5.
I tell you what, since we got sponsors in the building, let our sponsors pick who goes first.
McAuliffe Cigars on. My man Bugs, Dave Jolly up in this bitch.
You pick who goes first.
I'm going with Petty.
I ain't gonna lie, he done earned the opportunity to go first. He's
shutting shit down today,
man. Had a hell of an episode. You are the Kofi Kingston of this episode.
Go talking this
You're talking to your reigning, defending 6-man tag team champions.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The Broken Pencil Booking Company.
Yeah, is that number 1 on your list?
No.
It should be. Number 1 in your hearts, though.
Number 1 in my heart. So in no particular order.
No.
You don't get to do them all. One at a time.
So my number 1.
Right.
Booker T.
So no.
Booker T. Huffman.
I got you.
Number 1.
But here's the rules. No list can have the same wrestler appear more than once.
Okay.
So if
I got Booker T.
You've taken Booker T. Now I have to take him off my list.
He's off the board, period.
He's off the board.
Okay.
Yeah. So when it's all said and done, there will be 15 different wrestlers that we have on our personal list.
Personal GOAT list.
Okay.
I am. Who's next?
You call it, Dave. Who's next?
Who's number 2?
Wow.
All right.
That's hospitality.
Hey, you got 25 sticks, man. Calm down.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I got more than that, but I'm VIP.
The king,
brand ambassador for this bitch. You feel me?
the king of the shoot DVD, the most dangerous man in wrestling, and a friend to us all, New Jack.
I typed him up before you even got him out.
Come on, fam.
New Jack. Look,
Jesus.
I'm going for sentimental value here, fam. There's no way I will be denied on this one.
All right, who you got?
I was looking over the roster, and I was thinking to myself, they don't have any brothers on the wall. And then I remembered, the first person that we saw, the first group that we saw at their very first press conference happened to be a brother on the wall. Number 1 on my list, the first African American to sign with AEW, Scorpio Sky.
He's on your GOAT list?
He's on the GOAT list?
That is a shocker. I've never seen a Scorpio Sky match.
I'm going for sentimental value here.
SoCal Unlimited?
Come on, Petty. Come on with the next.
All right. Since we keeping it 100, keeping it G.
Yeah, keeping it kayfabe.
Damn.
Okay.
Ron Simmons.
Okay, I expected some shit like this from you, Riff Raff.
Fuckery is afoot.
Yeah, fuckery is afoot. Yeah.
I got number 1. I'm picking everybody.
I got you. So number 2 on my mixtape list. I'm gonna take the GOAT. Kofi Kingston is on my list.
Good one.
Damn it.
Good one.
Yeah, take that point blank range.
Hey,
I ain't even got to sum him up because we already did it previously.
I told you we going for sentimental value here. There were 2 people that rocked the blonde hair afro. I'm going with the second of the 2, but I'm taking him back when he had a jerry curl in Mid-South. Not the natural. Hacksaw. Butch Reed.
Good pick. Fantastic selection.
My number 3 selection.
Who you got?
Keeping it going with the gold hair.
Don't ruin this. Okay, great. Yes.
My name is the Petty Messiah, and I am the advocate for the 4-time OVW Southern Tag Team Champion.
Oh,
Damn!
2-time WWE Tag Team Champion. 3-time WWE IC
Run
Champion.
them stats.
1-time WWE US Champion.
Run them stats.
And 1-time WWC World Heavyweight Champion.
Run them stats, fam.
Shelton Benjamin.
What did I say? Shelton Benjamin. Type that shit before you even got done.
Yeah. Run them stats, famo.
Good shit, dog.
I'm
Good
in there.
shit.
I'm in there.
Next on my list, we're number
Number 3.
Number 3 on my list.
We're looking for number 3.
A seasoned veteran who has performed for us across multiple decades and multiple eras in WWF/E.
Oh, shit.
Tenured enough to have wrestled Good Try Terry, but also seasoned enough to have given us multiple characters across his entire journey. Ladies and gentlemen, not Papa Shango. Not Kama.
Oh, fam.
The Godfather, Charles Wright.
All right.
The man who loves his hoes.
WrestleMania 15 walked to the ring with Ice-T.
Pimpin' has been pimpin'.
Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Pimpin' ain't easy, man. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I had to get off in there.
I would. Number 3.
Oh man, this got hard real quick.
Super
You
quick.
thought I had somebody else cooked up.
I did too.
Oh man, I really thought you had somebody else cooked up.
Nah, bruh.
Just off of his territory runs.
Okay.
And he's
Alright.
also in the same vein. I actually typed him up for you on this last one.
Okay.
But just off his territory runs and the fact that he was in multiple incarnations of the WWF/WWE,
Okay.
and he's been around for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decades now.
Shoot.
Oh,
Tony Atlas.
Come
come on.
One half of the first African American WWF Tag Team Champion.
I feel like I'm on. Okay, I like
Okay.
that. I like that.
Okay. Number 4.
Come on with it.
The one-time Maryland Champion Wrestling Tag Team Champ with Leo Rush. The actual winner, in my opinion, of Tough Enough. The only wrestling for WWE just shy of 2 years and already en route to becoming. If WWE doesn't give it to someone from the New Day or reluctantly Ricochet, the first African American black ass Universal WWE or both champion, Velveteen Dream.
God,
He put a youngster on the GOAT list.
Put him on the GOAT list. That man has come into wrestling and shocked the world. He should have won Tough Enough. It was a travesty that he didn't. He's my number 4. I got him on my team.
Ladies and gentlemen, my number 4 comes to you. You can view his story right now on the WWE Network.
Talk about it.
The once, the past, the present, and forever in our hearts, the world's strongest man,
Strongest.
Mark Henry. Silsbee, Texas is in the building.
Silsbee, baby.
Do you understand what Silsbee is?
In the middle of nowhere.
Silsbee, motherfucking me, Texas. The world's strongest man. Should be a multi-time world champion. Should have been an Olympian.
Should have been.
But one of the greatest world champions of African American descent ever. I welcome you all to the Hall of Pain.
In at least 2 sports.
In at least 2 sports.
At least 2 sports.
I welcome you all to the Hall of Pain. If I ain't getting no respect around here, ain't nobody gonna have no peace. Mark Henry.
I told you I was going for sentimental value.
Okay.
No, don't do no sucker shit.
Hey.
Where do we broadcast from?
Users.
Shut up.
You was a sneaky.
Shut up. I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Shut Yeah.
That's why I got him in there.
Golly.
I saw him first there on Channel 2 on Sunday mornings. And then he flipped over to Saturday nights on Channel 8. And he was on borrowed time because Fritz said, come on down and be part of Devastation Incorporated. We're going to turn you to a bad guy. I'm also going to leave the NWA, and I'm going to have you, not my boys, be the man of the hour.
Wow.
From St. Louis, Missouri. He fallen some hard times, but Mama always said, it bees that way sometimes. The Iceman, King Parsons.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that's great. Shout out to Iceman King Parsons.
Iceman King Parsons.
Got a chance to shake his... I'm sorry, give him a fist bump. He didn't shake his head.
Come on, Petty. Come on with your number 5. What you got?
I touched on him earlier.
Don't ruin this for me.
Number 5.
Who you got?
Technically can be described as the father of black excellence in wrestling.
Uh-oh.
The father?
The father of black excellence.
One of the premier wrestlers. Once you go back and you start looking at the history, when you get the knowledge, you understand why.
Okay.
We just saw this man the other night cutting a mean ass promo. When they walked through that whole program, we were looking at Legends of Wrestling.
Okay.
Houston Harris is his real name. It's just a dope ass name to have, period.
That's some pimp shit.
He played for the House of David in the Negro Leagues. And then after that decided, you know what, I don't want to work at the steel mill no more. I want to be a wrestler. Technically, he is the first NWA champion, African American, beating Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. We touched on it earlier today.
1962.
Bobo Brazil.
Fantastic selection.
Gotta put him in there.
Fantastic selection. So tell you what I'm gonna do.
He got to go to the list. Yeah, I'm off the top, but just had to go to the list. He ain't freestyle no more, fam. Look at him.
No, I had these all playing. They all came from the list.
Yeah, fuck didn't he?
No. I did. I got fucked when on Petty's first pick.
Booker.
Yeah, Booker T was on my top 5. So now I'm going to take it in a completely different situation, in a direction.
Okay.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, when you're selling something, communication is the absolute paramount of what has to happen for money to be made. So, in the wrestling business, when people can't talk, you got to put the microphone in somebody's hand. And once upon a time, Vince McMahon found a man from Fort Worth, Texas, Kenneth Wayne Johnson.
Come on.
But you know him as the Doctor of Style. Slick!
Talk about it. Come on. You got to have a manager.
Jive Soul Bro should be playing right now as the national anthem for black wrestling.
Come on now.
He's a jive soul bro. Jive soul bro.
The man is so cold, he left wrestling and became a reverend.
And then came back.
And then went back to reverending again. You got to understand that the Doctor of Style Slick is responsible for more people getting over that should probably never have been over in WWF than anybody I've ever seen. Indeed. That man talked that talk, walked the walk, cashed the money, cashed the check, put the money in his pocket, and strutted back up the aisle before anybody ever realized that he had picked their pockets.
Slick.
What you need to understand is that the Doctor of Style, Slick, is a Hall of Fame hero.
Yes, he is.
This man here was recognizable in not just the South. His charisma took him to the North.
South side.
He was not known as the greatest worker, but his charisma permeated through all the children, and you never, ever once saw him play the role of a bad guy.
Nope.
One of his biggest nemesis I actually put on my list. In his territory days, I think they may have touched the ground once in the E. And in fact, I believe he was in the ring with with your guy that you just picked for this incident, or for this instance I'm talking about. June 1st, 1998. He was returning home from his daughter's graduation, and in a single car accident, his life was taken from us. I'm talking about the one man that had more gold around his neck than Ric Flair had around his waist. The JYD Junkyard Dog.
Come on
with it.
We owe it to that man to put him on this GOAT Talk list.
You gotta be on there.
I figured one of y'all would get it.
I ran out of spots.
It
started getting hard, but it started getting easy too, didn't it? Let me run it down. The Petty Messiah has Booker T, Ron Simmons, Shelton Benjamin, Velveteen Dream, and Bobo Brazil. I think you probably won for the most gold.
Everybody
for the most gold, you probably won.
As soon as I picked Booker T, I won.
Yeah, Booker T gives you a hell of a head start.
The boy Suave has New Jack, Kofi Kingston, The Godfather, Mark Henry, and Slick.
Come on.
I got Scorpio Sky, Hacksaw Butch Reed, JYD, Tony Atlas, DVD. And Iceman King Parsons. Of mine, I might have the most jail time.
Damn. Nah, New Jack gonna help me stay in there. New Jack gonna help me.
Hey, so here's the thing. I when we went through this, an honorable mention goes to somebody that you can't really pick because he's not African American. Norman Smiley.
Is he not?
He's African American.
He's not
African.
actually African American by default.
He's African British.
He's from England.
He counts.
And as such, he wouldn't technically count.
I mean, if he's a citizen now, he would.
Yeah, he's a citizen now. He's a trainer in NXT.
Yeah.
Is he?
He's an American citizen.
Is he?
Norman Smiley counts.
Is he?
He is.
Does he?
Yeah.
The Norman Smiley, you didn't get forgotten. Ernie, the cat.
The cat.
The big cat.
Hold on,
no,
man.
No,
you got
not Ernie Ladd. May you rest in peace.
No.
But Ernest the Cat Miller.
Oh.
You did not get forgotten.
The original person who had
Call my mama.
Somebody call my mama.
Came out dancing like James Brown.
Bro, this Clay.
He didn't forget you, G Rilla. That's right.
G Rilla.
G Rilla.
Hey, so I mentioned the first, the two people with blonde hair afros. The first person who actually looked like the second person. Well, the second person looked like the first person. Sweet Daddy Siki.
Oh,
what? Man, look. You don't know about it, learn about him. Look him up. Pro Wrestling Illustrated was
you need
the
a third. Shout out to ECW's Chili Willy.
Chili Willy, yeah.
Hey, Too Cold Scorpio, what's happening, baby?
Hey, Red Dog, what it do, dog?
Come on, Red Dog.
Skip Young.
Come on, Skip Young.
What's happening, OG?
Action Jackson.
What's happening? Oh,
Pistol Pez Watley.
Shaska.
Yes.
Rocky King.
Come on.
Oh,
hey.
Bad News Brown.
Exactly.
Bad News Allen.
So man.
That go for any of you yellow belly sharecroppers.
So man, Rocky Johnson.
Oh yes sir. Yes sir.
Stevie Ray.
Yeah.
Straight shooting.
Suckers gots to know.
Suckers needs to know.
Yep.
Ahmed Johnson, Big T.
Big T.
Don't leave the ladies out. Shout out to Jacqueline.
Yeah. Oh.
There you shout
Ember Moon.
AKA Miss Texas.
Shouts out to Jazz.
Shouts out
Red
to
Dog's
Jazz.
wife.
Yes.
D-Lo Brown.
D-Lo Brown. D-Lo Brown. First of all, you should have been higher up on the list. Yeah. We only had 5 slots.
Let me put 4 up. Side your head. Elijah Burke.
AKA
the Pope. The Pope.
Your Pope.
D'Angelo De Niro.
Montel Vontavious Porter.
MVP.
That's right.
How can we forget Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush?
Can't forget Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush.
We can't. Just like we can't forget Special Delivery Jones.
Come on, SD,
rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Come through.
Dig what I'm saying when I'm saying it. And to the first person to cash out on WCW, hard work Bobby Walker.
Come on now.
Better than you.
Cash out.
Hey, can we shout out to Thunderbolt Patterson and Ice Train?
Absolutely, we have to shout out to both of them.
Hold on. Thunderbolt Patterson is the blueprint for how you do this thing.
This is true.
Man, you must go to the network and check out. Just Google. Just Search his
Find him.
Search his promos. That especially his heel promos. Classicness.
Did we dap up Ron Simmons already?
Oh yeah,
Come on, man. He on the list.
Okay, you got to make sure. Well, shout out to another lady on the list, Dark Journey.
Dark Journey, for sure.
For sure. What's Sister Sharon?
Snowman. Shouts out to the Snowman.
Shout out to the Snowman. Shout out to the Dream Machine, Tony Graham.
Pork Chop Cash up in this bitch, the Bruise Brothers.
Man. Brickhouse Brown.
Rest in
how
peace.
is you doing?
Rest in peace, Brickhouse Brown.
Can you dig it?
This is a moment to celebrate, and we're gonna miss some people because the list is extensive of people who have given
That's
their
a
blood,
long ass list
That's a lot.
already.
their
Shout-outs.
sweat, their tears to just entertain people and bring a smile to somebody's
I
face.
mean,
Tell a
what?
story.
Jason Jordan up in this bitch?
Come on, Jason.
Come on with it.
Hey, come back, Jason.
Hey, who's the Evolve Tag Team Champions right now?
Shout out to the Street Profits.
Hey, I just like to take a moment to holler at my boy
Nobody, yeah.
Keith Lee.
Indeed.
Bask in my glory.
Indeed.
Okay.
Somebody who should have made my list. Something big is gonna happen for this man in the next 3 months. We got to pay attention to him. The king of the swerve, Shane Strickland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something big is happening to him the next 3 months.
I can dig it.
Hey,
ACH.
ACH.
Yeah, that's another one.
Apollo
ACH.
Crews.
Apollo Crews.
Fam.
Wow.
If you
Titus O'Neil.
Titus always fam.
What's the other primetime player?
Darren Young.
Darren Young.
Where is Darren Young?
Darren Young is chilling somewhere. He got a bag.
He got a bag. Let him get his bag.
And Black History Month fact, he's the first openly gay African American man in pro wrestling.
We
Hold
tripping.
on.
tripping.
Come on, talk about it.
Yo.
JTG, Chad Gaspar.
It's crime time. You got to shout out to crime time.
Talk
what
about
are
it.
we doing, bro?
Talk about it. Hey, y'all got to come back, man.
Fuck out of here. Oh, shit.
What we got?
We know we forgetting somebody.
I know somebody we're forgetting, but I don't know if are we shouting them out?
Yeah, who?
Yeah.
Virgil?
Yeah.
Virgil.
Come on, man.
Mike Jones. Who?
Mike
Jones. Always gets a shout out.
There's somebody else on the
Sweet Sapphire.
Rest in peace, Sapphire.
Sweet Sapphire got to get a shout out, bro.
There's somebody else on the E right now. Ricochet?
Yeah.
I don't know what Ricochet is.
That man from Paducah, Kentucky.
You right. Ricochet, what up, bro?
That's 45 miles from my birthplace, pimp.
Okay. Ricochet.
Ricochet is serious.
That's a highway 60 and 62, I-24, bitch. Nothing, learn about it. Be about it. Tell somebody about that.
Damn.
I kind of feel like, Trevor Mann is one of us.
The boy
One
named.
of us.
Hey, how many?
One of us. Good God.
Chuck Taylor.
From the Chappelle Show?
No. Oh, wait. The Human Tornado.
Damn.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Human
Of
Tornado.
YouTube fame. He was on my list
Yeah,
for people who could have went to NXT.
Yep.
It's
Okay.
another dude. Is it
That's almost that time this year too. We got to do another list this year.
This is true. We
There's a
got to
dude
start
that-
scouring.
that wrestles in Lucha Underground?
That's Shane Strickland.
That is
Shane Strickland.
That's Shane?
Yeah.
The guy was I know he's on their mask, but I forgot what his name is.
Killshot?
Nah.
Kill shot?
Nah, I ain't talking about him. Big dude, afro, taco meat on the chest.
Oh,
Stone Cold stunning cats left and right.
How about Moose?
Willie McClinton Jr.
Shout out
the
to
Mac.
Moose, and then
Willie Mack.
Willie Mack.
Willie Mack is the NWA North. Is it the
He
national?
is the current NWA National Heavyweight Champion.
what is Ezekiel's new name in Lucha Underground?
Ezekiel Jackson?
Yeah, Ezekiel
I didn't know he
Jackson.
was in Lucha Underground.
Yeah,
What?
He been there.
I didn't know.
He was one of the originals.
Big Zeke.
Big Zeke was handling business.
Is he in
Man.
Lucha Underground?
Yeah.
As Big Rick.
Big Rick.
Big Rick.
I like Big Zeke better.
I
Pause.
do like Big Z.
Who else in the E we missing? We missing somebody from the E.
I'm trying to run through my brain about all my wrestling watching habits.
Who have we missed that's sorely gone on the radar?
I'm
Xavier Woods,
Hey,
Big E.
Hey,
of course.
Hey, Ember.
Amber's on the list a second time here.
Get well soon.
Get well soon. I'm gonna come check on you guys.
I hate that she's gonna miss her Mania payday.
I wish
too.
you were at WrestleMania getting paid, kicking people in the face. I miss you. Come back.
I gotta start thinking about time periods. Ron Simmons, Hard Work, Bobby Walker, Butch Reed, Teddy Long.
How do we forget if we mention Alicia Fox? Alicia Fox. How do we and also Naomi and what's her tag team partner?
Come on.
No, the old tag team partner.
Oh, Cameron? For the Funkadactyls?
Cameron, yes.
Yes.
Funk is on a roll.
Layla L.
Funk is on a roll.
What?
Layla L.
No.
Yes.
No.
If you count Norman Smiley, you gonna count Layla.
Oh my God! Stop it.
These passionate hands.
I didn't think she even made it with being an American
How
citizen.
can we forget the Ugandan giant Kamala?
Kim Chi was black under that mask. Shout out to Kim Chi.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Yes, we forgot Abdullah. How did we do that? As many jokes as we've made about Abdullah.
We didn't forget him.
We didn't forget him.
Oh, wait. We cannot shout. We cannot shout a list without the first ever true professional wrestler that's black.
Who that is?
USA gold medal winner Kenny Monday, representing Booker T. Washington High School, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Damn.
He's an amateur wrestler who actually started a pro wrestling league with Fox, like with amateur wrestlers getting paid for wrestling amateur style.
Oh, well, shit. That's a Black History Month.
That's
That's the whole thing.
Did anybody say Ron Killings? Nope. Did anybody say the big cat Ernie Ladd? I don't think so.
No,
Ernie Ladd got a shout out.
Ernie Ladd got a shout out, but we ain't put him on.
Rest in peace to Big Vis.
Damn.
That's right.
Mo Oscar and Mabel up in this hole.
Trifecta.
Speaking of Ron Killings, Big Vis was Ron Killings' bodyguard when he was in the NBA. When he was fighting in the TNA for the first time.
How about Karma, a.k.a. Awesome Kong,
Come
a.k.a.
on,
Kaya
Awesome Kong.
Stevens.
Of Netflix fame.
You feel me?
Out here getting papier, if you will.
Sailor Art Thomas.
Come on, man.
Wait a minute. We tripping. We really tripping. Testify.
Devon Dudley.
Rufus R. Jones.
I remember that.
How about Zeus? How about Zeus?
Wait, what about Clarence Mason? No.
Yeah. Abraham Washington.
Abraham Washington.
The Boogeyman.
Percy.
Yes, the Boogeyman.
Percy Watson.
Percy Watson doing fantastic work on NXT
on the mic.
commentary.
Hey,
Cedric Alexander.
Oh,
Sid,
yeah. Come on,
Bianca Belair.
Bianca.
Absolutely.
Keep hitting chicks in the face with that ponytail. They need it.
Hey, I don't know how we missed Brandy Rhodes.
Of course.
We didn't miss Brandy Rhodes.
No, we didn't.
We just didn't call a name out.
Mr. T. We can count him.
Mr.
He's a Hall of Famer. We can count him.
The intro to this cartoon is the funniest.
Curtis Hughes.
Mr.
Damn, bro.
I relieved him, man.
I'd have revoked our card.
And of course, we didn't say his name. We talked about him in the shoot, but we didn't say his name. Let's give him his props. Teddy. Theodore Long.
Theodore R. Long. Ray Candy. Up in
now, hold on, player.
Oh. Johnny B. Bad, a.k.a. Mark
Marrow.
Wait,
Yes.
Hold on. Wait, now, what?
Yeah.
Word?
Yeah, he's one of us.
He's one of
What?
us.
He's one of us. He's one of us. He's one of us. Yes.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, Johnny B. Bad is one of us.
Mark Merrow?
Yep. Absolutely.
We got. If
He
we
just got a perm.
wait, Queen Charmel. She gotta get that.
Queen Charmel.
We ain't gonna take the queen off the
Charmel.
front of it.
Sergeant Craig Pittman in this bitch.
Come on.
Craig Pitbull Pittman on you hoes with the code red arm bar.
Hey, you know what? This is far-fetched, but you're not gonna believe it.
What?
Master P.
Master
P
Dennis
is a
Rodman
legend.
and Karl Malone.
Come on.
I don't know if we're going to shout out Karl Malone, though.
It happened.
Hey.
It happened, but I'm just saying Karl Malone.
Is that pushing it? You think that's pushing it?
Yeah.
He black, though.
He is, but
He got in the ring, though.
Take it over to ROH. Caprice Coleman.
Ah.
That's a really cool ass mixtape name.
And ain't it Caprice Coleman?
Yeah.
Caprice Coleman.
I am.
Box Chevy Volume 1.
Oh, yo, this is somebody should have been on my GOAT list. I'm actually willing to replace somebody on my GOAT list for this dude.
Who that?
You talking about somebody that got some gold under his belt?
Who that?
The first ever ROH TV champion and ROH World Heavyweight Champion simultaneously. More days of the ROH Championship than any two competitors combined. Jay Lethal.
Black Machismo.
Black Machismo.
My guy.
my man, my G.
We didn't forget you, Lethal.
D-Ray 3000.
That works.
Yeah, TNA fame.
Did we throw out Coco Ware?
You know Coco Beware been shouted out already.
Hey, come on. No, we didn't.
Yo, what about WCW? Tigress.
Damn.
The Nitro Girls was holding.
Man, listen.
Stay on.
Stay holding. Oh, we tripping again. Elix Skipper.
Oh, no, he's not one of us. He's Canadian.
He had to have some type of work visa to be over here. He's
not a citizen.
He's been a citizen. He was a citizen when he was in TNA. You can't denounce him. You can't.
He's Canadian?
Yeah.
He is.
Are we sure?
So is Bad News Allen.
So
also Canadian.
Hey, fam. He was born in Roosevelt, New
Bad
York.
News Brown. Yeah.
Roosevelt, New York, fam.
Ha! American.
All right.
He's American. Elix Skipper is American.
Real
All right.
American hero.
So how about this one right here?
Who you got?
Monty Brown, a.k.a. Marcus Corvine.
A.k.a.
Outside.
Period.
Yeah. Okay.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yes, Lawrence
Hold on,
Taylor.
nah.
He main evented the WrestleMania.
Hold
he
on.
counts.
When I said that, everybody gave me flack. We count him now?
When? Who gave you flack?
We said that 2 things ago, and this man right here, Wood, gave me flack.
I didn't say shit.
Yes, you did. He didn't wrestle. He doesn't count. And I was like, Lawrence Taylor, he's a football star turned into a wrestler.
Mike Tyson.
Counts.
Mike Tyson had 2 stints and only
Tyson
one counted. The other one, you wonder what he couldn't even show up for.
I'm still getting text messages from you. What the fuck is this? You need to delete that app immediately.
Now.
Delete that shit immediately. Get off that.
Wow.
Get off.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
And I'm still getting text messages about SmackDown.
Man, listen, we can go on and on. It looks like apparently for hours because this was easily our longest episode.
We love y'all.
And I'm not doing any post edit. All I'm doing is mastering and throwing it up. Suave. I'm sorry. The Petty Messiah, thank you for joining us. Shouts out to McCullough Cigars for the nice treats today. And Suave, close us out, take us home, man.
For the Black History